Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go.
Figgy, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rockett, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go in the jacuzzi, smoking threats. I got my feet up. Cut them haters off, I told them beat it. I don't need you. Spent 50 racks in cash, but it's all good. I got my visa. This rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa. My ghetto Nikeisha. I beat it like a creature. She always like my sneakers. These Jordan 5 pink aces. Let's go. I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row. He really the one. They already know. Put on all of my chains, go put on the show.
Giving out gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. I need it back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80. We really 10 toes down on the pave. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
Yeah.
I love the intro, man. That gets me hype every time. I like the production value. Used to come in cold. I had no idea what to say.
I know.
Now coming to podcast in a good mood, in a good H-Town mood. A lot going on in the city. Unfortunately, no NFL primetime games for the Texans, but they gonna learn. They gonna learn.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, man. Because
low key, I'm actually very excited because I
stay down until you come up, man. And I know you excited too because we ain't got to come up here on a Monday night.
I was so happy, man. Look, to be fair, they can flex the games. But I was very happy because these fucking primetime games are hell to work, especially when they have some bullshit. For a while, the Texans were doing goofy shit like they went to London and they went to Mexico, and those were the worst fucking games to work, man. Because the time was like 10 a.m. start times. The Mexico shit was crazy. It was a whole lot of problems. So, yeah, I like the Sunday 12 p.m. Just keep it the same, man. And we gotta show and prove. We're gonna show them.
Yes.
But, we do have a special guest we got to bring in. A lot to break down and talk about and things in the culture. So it won't be so much of a sports show this time. We'll more get into some things going on in culture, some topics we kind of skimmed on and we got to get back to and circle around on with a media specialist, I'll call her. Yeah. She's a very talented radio host and all the things. She's got a YouTube. She on TikTok. She's everywhere, man.
Yeah, she have her own radio show, man.
She does. Very, very talented radio host. Been around the world and she's been around everywhere, man. She's been pumping out content, and we love having her on the show for a combative female perspective. You know, she's very, very, very aggressive. But I like that. I like the aggression. I like an aggressive woman. So she's gonna be mad when we bring her
come in and kick your ass.
I know, right? now why she can't talk, let me get all my shit out, okay? Now we have the lovely J Belle joining us again. Yeah.
Ryan.
I'm
aggressive, huh?
You are aggressive, but I like the aggression. I like it. It
Explain
makes for good
the aggression. I want to understand. What do you mean that I'm aggressive?
You are aggressive. I mean, we know what aggressive means,
but I want you
that.
to tell me how I'm aggressive.
You're being aggressive right now. How about that for the definition?
I am simply asking a question.
You're being condescending when you ask the question.
And because you said something that offended me.
There's nothing wrong with being a good look. It makes for good look. We all work in the radio game, okay? You can't be no soft-spoken nerd and be a radio host. Okay,
I
you
ain't never
got to
been
bring
that.
the aggression. You got to bring the fire.
But aggressive is such like it's a very condescending word, as you
It's
say that
not.
acts
It's not.
condescendingly. It's a condescending word. Now,
It's not. I mean aggressive in a good way. Look, we have to talk about the difficult things and the controversial things, and we can't be tiptoeing around topics. We gotta say what we mean and mean what we say. And I think you're somebody who means what she says and says what she means, even though you be wrong a lot of times. You stand by it, and I respect that. Okay.
I do not be wrong a lot of times, number one. And number two, the last man that said that they like a certain thing about me, I'm still single. So I don't believe nothing you're saying. Now
Here we
let's keep
go.
it moving.
Here we go. The scorned woman coming back again.
Definitely ain't
Look.
scored. Just telling facts. Definitely not scored.
We've all been through the ringer, J Belle. Okay, so it's gonna be okay. It's gonna
You're
be
always
okay.
trying to talk shit, Ryan. Let's go.
We see Troy on Facebook. What's going on, Troy? Everybody joining in from the comments. We appreciate y'all. So yeah, let's just get to it, man. A lot to talk about. First off, let's do a wellness check with J Belle. We ain't talked to you in a minute. How you been, girl? How's the radio game treating you?
Mercury in retrograde has been kicking my ass.
What does that mean?
Like everything is just out of whack. Everything is out of whack. Nothing is going right. It's more emotional than usual. That's what's going on. Well, other than that, my show is doing well. I'm sitting in top 4, you know, top 4th, 6th, all that. I'm top 10, so
Nice.
we're doing awesome.
Let's go
I
then.
ain't got no extra money in my paycheck from that, but hey, I'm here.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming. Now, on that note, I have a question. Why, whenever a woman's life is in chaos, it's like some universal thing that's the issue? Like Mercury in retrograde, the moon being in Aquarius, whatever astrological bullshit is going on is the reason why your life is not going the way you might hope it to be. Because I feel like men don't get that excuse. You know, when we're going through it, we can't be like, oh, you know, the moon's in Taurus, so you know.
I got one better. How would you feel, J Belle, if a guy said that? If he said, yeah, you know, the Mercury and the retrospect, it's all off.
First of all, I'd be like, why is you as a man, like they be doing on Twitter, why is you as a man know anything about Mercury retrograde? And then 2, I'd be like, man, I feel you. I'm in that with you. What's your sign? Oh, you are Aries right now? First of all, I don't even like Aries. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Except for my mama. But I would have a conversation with him because obviously he knows about Mercury retrograde. That means we kindred spirits.
Is that a red flag if a guy know all about all that?
It
Like,
depends, depends on how much he's into it.
Yeah, how much he's into. Not know about it, but as he's
like I talk about it as a like funny, as jokingly. Although I really have been affected by Mercury retrograde this time around. Usually I'm not. Like I don't even care for it. But this time, all the stuff that was happening to me, yeah, I have to blame it on that.
How do you know when it's around? Because I feel like my life always hectic. So, like,
well,
how do I know if it's that?
It happens usually 3 times a year, and you can like look online, just say, "Are we in Mercury retrograde?" and it'll show you everything, and it'll even show you the signs that are actually being affected during that time.
Now, do you feel like that's a little bit of confirmation bias to where you look for bad things to happen because of this universal phenomenon, and then when it happens, like, oh, yep, retrograde?
Not all the time.
Like, have you ever had Mercury in retrograde and things were actually going pretty well for you?
Yeah, because I got this job.
See, there you go.
I got this job. When I first got my new car, when I first got my car back in 2018, after a major car accident, when I got my job when I moved back home to North Carolina, when I got a job there, it was around this time of year, Mercury retrograde. Changes always happen around this time of year. So yeah, I've had good and bad changes, and I'll look it up sometime, and I'll be like, oh, that makes sense of what's happening. Because otherwise than that, nothing really majorly bad happens to me for the rest of the year. But between March to maybe like June, the end of June, shit be happening. So yeah, I will say I definitely look at that.
Okay. I mean, that's typically the time where people be outside and in the mix, and that's when the summer love kind of heats up or ends. So I get what you're saying.
That's really the start of the new year when you think about it, because spring, the changes, all the dead, leaves in the winter, fall, winter, and then things start breathing life into themselves again. You got to think about it like that. That's really like when the new year starts. Yeah, it starts in January legally and on paper, but when you think about the time that spring comes and how everything blooms that was dead once, and it comes back into bloom, yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's when men and women get tired of each other too. Because you had the cold winter, the cold weather, y'all was cuddled up, y'all was all hugged up on each other. Then summer come, y'all outside again, you start seeing other options, and then you start seeing the flaws. Like, why we always gotta argue? I don't want this no more. I'm on Instagram, I see all my friends having fun at the pool party. I want to be at the pool party with the hoes too. Dog, did y'all see that pool party in Houston with like some wild shit going on?
Y'all Mocha's Fest out there?
That was a Freaknik type shit going on at a Houston pool party. I'm like, what are we doing out here, man?
Sucked and they
girl, yeah. So I seen some girl licking some carpet.
That shit was.
I'm like, what?
Gloria Velez at Freaknik type partying, man.
It's funny because
even the way she was licking the kitty.
When I first seen this, I'm thinking like, well, this got to be because I saw DJ Self, who was a New Yorker. He was like hosting something, so I thought it was in New York. And then when I seen, everybody kept saying that's Houston. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even know where that's at.
I saw the flyers and stuff because, what's his name online? I think his name is like Sean Mack, DJ Sean Mack out of Chicago or something. He hosted or he DJed one of the events. And then I started seeing the videos online because people were talking about it. So I did a quick tweet search and I was like, what is the devil? And then, like I said, the girl that was
licking the carpet.
Yeah,
it was the way she was licking it that was just throwing me off.
That was mad nasty. Like, I can understand in 94 when there was no video phones and all that, and there was just whatever you did, just for the most part, stayed there.
They tried to hide it, too.
They put that shit on the internet, man.
The crazy part about it is, it was just random people just standing around like like they had a concert, and then right next to them, they sitting there going at it.
I would have been snitching.
Like,
security.
Imagine just standing at a concert, somebody right next to you just going at it.
I didn't know I was at an orgy.
Like, what?
I did not know this was an orgy. No, there was like crazy. Okay, so there was the video that showed two women giving head. The other friend tried to hide it. She had the blonde hair. I was looking at this video. She had blonde hair. She was trying to hide her friend, they both were sucking, but then the friend backed up, and the other friend came in and was giving her head, and the other girl was pushing the dude forward, pushing his butt forward, and making him hump. You know how dudes do when they getting their peen sucked. They move back and forth, and so it's been so long, I don't remember how it works. They was like going, it was hiding it. Then it was the girl that was licking the other girl's kitty. But there was also one more. I don't think you guys saw this, but there was one where the girl was sitting on the dude's neck and she was getting head.
Oh, yeah.
And then she fell down when she got caught on camera.
Hey.
You really broke this down. Damn.
I know.
You analyze this shit like the Zapruder JFK assassination.
What is happening? I was like, what is happening? Are we at the Playboy Mansion? Like, is this the grotto?
I'm not gonna lie. I
something?
looked at that shit once and closed it. Like, that's enough for me. But
I looked at it once. I was trying to figure out what is going on.
You ran that whole back, be honest.
No. I watched it once, but I kept looking at it because I was like, what is happening? And then I started noticing everything that was happening. But then also, too, at some point, the video started coming down my timeline. I'm nosy. I'm going to look at it. But I wasn't looking at it like that. Like, Like, ooh, a little freak action. And I was like, that's disgusting. And why they in public doing that? Like, your mama ain't give you no home training.
Yeah, that was that was mad nasty, man. Troy said you breaking down game film like that. Ain't no way you only seen it once. Yeah, now
Troy,
you
mind your
recalling a
business.
whole
You don't
lot.
know what I be doing. I'm a very good observer, Troy. So
Okay, apparently you got a photographic memory like Encyclopedia Brown.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I forget stuff every day. You can ask me what I talked about 15 minutes ago with you, and I forgot already.
I believe it.
So no.
Miguel
Kill my
in the
nerves.
comments on YouTube. What's up, Miguel? Ask if we're gonna break down the schedule. Man, not really. We already reacted to the fact that there's no
Yeah.
primetime games.
Yeah.
I did notice they play the Browns on Christmas Eve. You gonna go to that game? You got a family coming out, Figgy?
Yeah, my family set me up the day or the next day. Was like, oh yeah, so you gonna be there, and can you get some tickets? And yeah, they was hitting me up. I think my sister trying to get down here too. So yeah,
It's wild. Like
I feel like they put that game Christmas Eve to kind of hide it, somewhat how they did last time. Well, I don't want to say they hit last time, but this time I feel like they just threw it on Christmas Eve because it won't get that much attention like that for some reason. I don't know why.
Y'all trying to
Yeah,
say that
I don't
the
know.
NFL don't like the Texans?
I don't think they like
hearing?
Deshaun Watson having any kind of. I don't know. I don't know what's going on
He's
there.
still on
I
that
think
team? I thought they let him go.
no,
Nah,
they
he
paid him
played
$200 million guaranteed. He's gonna be there for a while.
He's
But
with the
they-
Browns.
Yeah, he's in
what?
Cleveland now.
So
Deshaun Watson in
Oh.
Cleveland.
Houston traded him to the Browns, and the Browns actually gave him a new contract, $230 million, all guaranteed. So it's way more than what he was doing before.
That's what I'm saying. I
the-
thought he was with because you sounded like he was still with the Texans. So I thought he got let go from the Texans.
He's playing. They're playing in Houston on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Ah.
Which is crazy that like ever since he's left Houston, he's had to play in Houston.
Yeah.
Like the
irony.
first game back was in Houston, and now he's got to play on Christmas Eve, barring injury, of course. Timothy says, "Got my tickets all ready for that game." Yeah, I mean, we'll of course we're rooting for the Browns to tank this season because we have their pick. Hopefully they lose badly. But I don't know. Who knows now? Who knows? Apparently the NFL ain't got no kind of faith in the Texans because they don't have any kind of Monday night football or any Sunday night football. They don't have any of that going on.
They don't have any Thursday night football games either?
Nope. And that's usually a trash matchup too, so they didn't even get that.
Yeah, I thought everybody have a Thursday night. I just realized that. Damn.
No, they changed. It used to be like at least every team. They changed the
They gotta play
scheduling for this year.
Damn.
And it used to be like every team at least got like a Monday night football game, I believe. And now they said,
I think it was Thursday. Every team got a Thursday.
yeah. And now they're like, it doesn't matter. Which I get it because I mean, look, and Amazon paid a lot for them rights.
Yeah.
Should they have to air the Texans
And
if they suck?
And it was bad last year too.
Yeah.
All of their games was pretty bad. So
yeah, they charge a lot for those TV rights. It's not fair to have like shitty teams on these nights, man. They should have like at least decent competition. And we don't know what the Texans are. They won 3 games and they got a rookie quarterback coming in. So I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm prepared for the worst. So Ernesto says Friday night COD Modern Warfare 2 and Gyms and Juice stream. Let go. Yeah. Y'all still on Call of Duty, man. I tried Modern Warfare 2. I couldn't get into it, man. It was too like I'm getting too old for them high-paced shooting games, man. I was getting stressed out. My blood pressure was rising. I couldn't do it.
Pressure over a video game?
Look, you don't understand, J Belle. Okay.
I don't. You sound very aggressive.
I'm just saying. These games are high intense, and you're playing against kids on Adderall. Okay, these motherfuckers.
That's what I need to be
will
on. 'Cause I be
shoot you
forgetting
from
stuff.
halfway across the map. I'm like, how the fuck you even see me, man?
Oh,
yeah.
So it's very very stressful playing Call of Duty. But
Sure,
glad
it's
to have y'all here.
Period, though, man.
I don't play
Them
video
games-
games
all them
anymore.
games stressful.
I stopped playing video games at the Super Nintendo.
Oh damn, that's a
Damn.
long ass time ago. You get you they done got real people in the games now. They got
You know what?
voices
I'm over
too.
you.
People actually talking games now.
Yeah.
I can't do. I don't have time for none of that.
You gotta sit down and watch Resident Evil one day.
Hell no. I watched the actual movie. I'm good.
Ugh,
The
it's
movie is
terrible.
off. You gotta watch the game.
I don't care.
gotta
That
be
was
in the
enough for
game.
me to realize I don't want to play against zombies.
That game is intense. Like
I
I had to
bet
cut
it
it off
is.
a couple times. Like, man, nah, I
you
can't
won't-
play the game at night.
And you want me to play? This one I got bad nerves. I'll be waking up in the middle of the night screaming, no.
That's how it is. Ernesto says, I play Knockout on Modern Warfare. Pretty much only 6v6. You can be revived, but once the team is wiped out, game is over. Super fun. That seems fun, man. Maybe I'll give it a second try. I don't know. I'll try Warzone a few times, and that battle royal shit is too stressful, man. I'd be dying too quick and got to restart and shit. I can't do it.
That's
But
why
respect
you
to
got to
that,
play
man.
Super Mario Brothers and call it a day.
Hey, I still fuck with Super Mario. Speaking of which, did any of y'all ever see that Mario movie?
No, the new one?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's
Mm-mm.
only,
Is it
not
out?
the one way back in the day with John Leguizamo.
I was about to say it is another one. That's why I
The new one.
asked.
The new one.
Why would I ask if you saw that one?
Have you seen it?
If I asked if you saw the Mario movie, you think I'm talking about the one that came out in 1994 or the one that came out like a month ago?
I'm 37 years old. You think I'm going to go see Super Mario Brothers
Why
at my
not?
age?
Look, aren't you a Marvel girl?
A Marvel girl?
A Marvel girl. Don't you go
Like-
see the MCU movies?
I mean, I go see the ones I really
So
wanna
you can go see motherfucking Spider-Man, but you can't see Super Mario?
Listen here, okay? The only reason why I'm so invested in Marvel is because I've started from the beginning of like when I say the beginning, I mean like with Robert Downey Jr. I'm not talking about the comics.
So not the real beginning.
Yeah, not the
Like
real beginning, but
Blade
like the
and Wesley Snipes
MCU.
and them. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with that with Blade. Oh, I love Blade. Don't talk to me about Blade. Blade. I watch Blade over and over again now. I'm excited for the new one that's coming
It keeps
out.
getting pushed back though.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the sad
kinda worried
part.
about that. Yeah.
And it would be I hate this. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
Come on,
What? No,
Skid.
no, you can't back down now.
I just feel like, you know,
This nigga's scared. And nobody scared, man. I just told you how to do this Saturday night. That shit.
Stop being scared.
kiss my
You gonna say
Figgy.
Mahershala is ugly or something?
No. I just feel like because of since the beginning, since they announced that Blade was coming down, they've had issues. And it's just I don't know why they can't get it together with this movie. They lost a director, and so they just had another one sign on. And then something else happened after that. And then now the writer's strike
just happened.
Yeah, and so everything has stopped, and so they had to push it back again. So to me, I feel like I don't want to say it's a sign that maybe they shouldn't do the movie, but like, come on. And I think they had to cast somebody else new in it too, or something. Like they've had a lot of issues since they announced that the movie was coming, and I want to see it. I'm excited to see it, and I hope in some way they include Wesley Snipes in it because he's the original Blade. They can't leave him out, you know. But who's to say like when this movie's going to actually come out? Because I think the original time was, I think either next year or 2025. We don't know how long this writer's strike is going to go on, and then even when they do get back or they come up with an agreement for people to get back to work, we still don't know how long it's going to be before the movie actually comes out. So in my opinion, people are going to lose interest in it because they already have their lineup for all the other movies that are coming out whenever they do, you know? And on top of that, people are starting to feel some type of fatigue after Ant-Man 3 and then all that shit that happened with Jonathan Majors. So it's just the timing of them dropping this movie or like trying to still work on it. Maybe they need to just take a pace. I don't want to hear anything else about it until it's like full throttle till it's like dropping, you know? Like, I just feel like it's a bad omen for all the shit that they've gone through so far. That's just me.
No, I agree. Whenever a movie has a lot of production issues, that's usually a sign that something's wrong. I think a director leaving is a huge red flag. You know, I think Marvel is just. I think it's difficult for directors to get their vision out on a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Because Marvel had in Disney, they have these standards. You got to do it this way. This movie got to set up the next thing. And a director is more artistic. They're like, I want to make this movie the way I want to make it. So
I agree.
I don't know how it's gonna go, man. But I'm worried about it. I think they're gonna Disneyfy it. It's not gonna be the same type of Blade shit we're used to.
Well, and I haven't seen Guardian of the Galaxy 3. I'm hearing really.
I heard
good.
that was pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was pretty good.
I do feel like between Iron Man, the director for that, John Favreau. Did I say that right? Favreau. And James Gunn, which now who's at DC Comics, Marvel's lost. I can't say that that's for sure because I feel like both of those directors and Ryan Coogler have been able to get out their visions in particular. I feel like with Blade, it's a touchy subject because Wesley Snipes was the original character, and he's the one that basically produced the movie out of his pocket to get it done. How do you how do you resurrect that character and make it bigger and better than what us millennials have already seen? Like, Wesley Snipes was a badass Blade. What's his name? Mahershala, something like that. Yeah. Mahershala.
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor. I loved him in Luke Cage.
Until they killed him like mid-season. That was some
Man,
bullshit.
listen, and we all subject.
That kind of did it for the show, to be honest.
100%.
Yeah. I mean,
I
just
still
the
watched
whole
it. I still watched it, but yeah.
Yeah, the whole agreement between Netflix and Marvel and then Disney came, that messed everything up. Besides the fact that they killed off that character. But yeah, I just the story has to really do well and make really good sense to outdo Wesley Snipes' version. Except for Blade 3. And really Blade 2.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah.
Blade 2 was
to be fair, none of the Blade movies are great, but it was just good for its time.
Yeah, and then Wesley Snipes, although, like you said, the storyline itself wasn't great, Wesley Snipes was Blade.
Yeah.
Or is Blade.
He was the man during that time.
Yeah, he was the man in that movie. He was badass. So there's a lot of comparison. It's like when, what's another movie that's been remade that was just made 20 years ago, a superhero movie?
Fucking, I'm going to say Little Mermaid, but superhero movie,
don't talk about Ariel.
Look, are we going to act like that shit look fire? That new Little Mermaid, man.
Absolutely.
Why? Because Chloe's in it.
It's not Chloe, first of all. It's her sister,
well, whoever the fuck.
Haley. Yes, because have you heard her sing Part of Your World?
You grew up, you watched Little Mermaid as a
Little
kid.
Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie of all time. Although I was mad once I figured out she was 16 and she married Eric after 3 days.
I mean, she was a cartoon. Like, what the fuck?
Still.
Wait, how'd you even... I don't remember her
realize,
age being mentioned in the damn movie, period.
No,
but how you gonna cancel Little Mermaid? Because it's a cartoon.
I never canceled Little Mermaid. All I said... Didn't I just say it's one of my favorite movies?
But you said you got mad when you found out she was 16.
Yeah, but
it's not real life.
I understand.
Why would this
Ryan,
make you upset?
Because she was 16.
We don't
marrying
know
a 21-year-old man. It doesn't matter if it was a cartoon. Like, as an adult now,
I didn't see their ages listed in the damn movie. Is this some kind of internet theory?
No.
Where did this come from?
You
Where
watch
does
it as an older adult. Well, she wasn't 16, but she was a teenager. The point is, she was young.
She was groomed. Uh-oh. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She was young.
Okay.
Prince Eric was older, and they got married after falling in love after 3 days. That's not realistic. That's why I was mad.
So, I'm glad you brought that up because now we got to talk about how women seem to, like, the notion that a younger woman will fall for an older guy is something that's seen as ridiculous now. When growing up, that's all the women I knew that wanted. Like, I got no play in high school. But in Figgy, I know you've seen this shit too.
Yeah.
Like
A
the women
girl was
we were
said,
with in
my
high school
man.
did not want high school kids. They wanted a grown man with his own
You know
car
what I
and
mean?
money.
You know what I
Now we
mean?
got to act like it's unrealistic to think that.
You know how many times a girl say, "Oh, my nigga in Cleveland State right now. He about to come pick me up from school." I'm like, damn, we in the 9th grade.
First of
Damn,
all,
I ain't got no
grooming.
chance. Yeah, I'm like, I ain't got no chance then.
That was
This brother-
grooming, and
this
that's
brother-
disgusting. But a lot of us women grew up. That's why we don't think like that anymore. That's not cool.
I don't think that's what happened. I
Okay,
think
but you
y'all-
can feel. That's why I said a lot of us grew up, and we don't think
Okay.
that way anymore. A lot of us grew up because that's grooming. That's a whole different topic and subject that I'm not willing to get into at all. So you can have that.
Everything is called about groom. Y'all have killed. I don't mean y'all like as in you, but people on social media have killed the word grooming. Okay, much like they've killed the word woke. They've killed everything
is
now.
dead.
Gaslighting, all these
Oh
words
my
that used to
God,
mean
gaslighting.
something, now it's just thrown around all willy nilly.
Probably for
like-
people that don't know what it means or actually
A
understand
40-year-old man dating a 25-year-old woman is not fucking grooming, okay? Like, stop acting like these things are grooming. Just gets thrown around no matter what, and things in these words, y'all done killed the meaning of it. Because any situation where an older man dates a younger woman gets called grooming now, and that's silly. Okay, like women have no
Not in every
agency of their
situation.
own.
When you think about if you had a child or if you had a daughter, she was 20 something, and she was dating a man that was 20 years older than her. You would be comfortable with that as a father?
Of course not.
Okay, then.
But
No
I wouldn't
25-year-old and a 40-year-old man have anything in common because that girl's brain is not fully developed to understand between.
See,
no,
you
listen
don't
to me
wanna-
because I've been through
Okay.
this.
Okay.
I've been through this. That's why I can say this. Her mind is not fully developed about what's going on in front of her. She's still learning about herself. She's still understanding herself. You get what I'm saying? Like who she's
No.
becoming as a woman constantly changes depending on where her life is going. So if she's 25 years old dating a 40-something-year-old man, that's not cool because that 40-year-old something man has already lived a life. And what he's looking for when he dates a woman or a girl that young is someone that's going to wait for him hand and foot. That's it.
How you gonna talk about Jay-Z like that?
Yeah, Jay-Z groomed Beyonce into the biggest pop star in the world.
Well,
So-
that's different because Beyonce already had talent. She already had her own career before she got with Jay-Z. But hey,
yeah, but she wasn't
I'm talking
Beyonce,
about women.
Beyonce.
Yeah, my favorite
She was-
little. Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Y'all like to make fun of shit that's really serious, and that's okay. But my point is that not every woman is Beyonce, and not every man is Jay-Z. And some men have ill intentions when they're dating a girl that young. Not everybody can get along or have an older or old soul mindset. Obviously, that's what Beyonce has. I don't know what their relationship is. We don't know what's going on with them. But 9 times out of 10, when a man that is 40-something years old dating a 20-something-year-old girl, he's molding her to become who he wants her to be. And he really is not looking, hold on.
Go
He's
ahead.
not looking for her. And it might not always be the same situation. Let me just put that out there. He's not looking for her to be a mother and all that. He's looking for her to be his trophy wife that takes care of him hand and foot while he molds her into the woman that he wants her to be and how he wants her to treat him on a regular basis. Every day, all the time.
I would say this. I would say this, like, and you say you got the experience in all of this, and I low key agree with you. I do think it's kind of weird that an older guy. Look, man, when you grown, you can have interest in anybody that's grown. I'm not sitting there saying you can't look at a 25-year-old, but to me, in my mind, I do think it's kind of strange because, like, me being 34. I'm like, damn, what do I got in common with a 23-year-old? I feel like that's a big gap difference because I'm in a different mindset. So I do be curious to see like a 45-year-old looking at a 21, 22, 23-year-old, because when I was 23, I ain't had this type of mindset. So
Exactly.
I'm just kind of curious. Like, I don't like you gave the reasons why he could be looking at somebody maybe to mold and all that stuff. Maybe that's true. Maybe he really could like her, and maybe
Yeah.
that's not his intention.
Yeah,
But
that's why I said
do-
like not every situation is the same, but more
Yeah.
times than not, it's that.
yeah, but I do. And look, man, if you fall in love, you fall in love.
Mhm.
But in my mind, I always thought that was kind of strange, because I kind of want somebody around my age. Like, I feel like we have a little more in common, and she kind of we could kind of relate to more stuff than I can relate to a 22-year-old.
Exactly. That's just my point. Like, you want somebody that has a little bit more in common with you than surface level stuff. You know, like I see stuff like that all the time in the clubs too when I used to go out. Like, the older men be really watching for these young girls, and as soon as they walk out, they're all in their face. I had something similar happen to me when I used to work for a station in Las Vegas. He manipulated me to believe that I wanted him and I wanted to be with him, when that was never on my mind. All of a sudden, I can't mess with nobody else. I can't deal with nobody else. I can't do nothing else except with him. And that was never supposed to be the plan. And that's why I say that. Like, you shouldn't date an older man when you're in your 20s. You need to date someone that's close to you in mindset.
See, here's the problem with that. Because from what you're describing, women in their 20s just shouldn't date, period.
No.
Because listen, anybody can manipulate you. Anybody. It's not like a older man has taken mind control classes and now he's better at manipulating young women. Okay, anybody can do that. 20-year-old men do it to 20-year-old women all the time.
They do.
Okay, some of that just has to be you knowing what's going on and having some common sense to an extent.
That's my point, though. When you're in your 20s, yes, you are legally of grown age, but your mentality is not there yet. It's not grown to that point yet. So yes, young boys are going to manipulate young girls because they think that's what's cool, especially now when you see what the hell is going on in the world. But that's my point. Older men see that. I'm not saying that they have mind control. What I'm saying is sometimes when you can see that a young girl is not fully aware of herself yet, it's easy to slide in and try to make her who you want her to be. I'm not saying every older man in the world is grooming young girls everywhere. That's not what I'm saying. And that's why I said more times than not, this is what's happening. Sometimes you do see situations where a 25-year-old woman, is with a 40-something-year-old man, and they work perfectly. It worked for them because that's what she wanted. She wanted to live that life, and that was fine for her. But that's not always the case. That's all I'm saying. Can we talk about something fun now? Because this is getting a little too heavy, and I didn't come here for that.
I fundamentally have some issues with what you're saying because it takes away agency.
With everything I say.
No, I don't. That's not true. I mean, something. Well, a lot of things, but not everything. but to end. But my only point is, like, when you put it like that. Here's the thing. There are things that people champion that young woman do that I think they shouldn't be doing. You know, a woman gets an OnlyFans account. A woman blatantly talks about scamming dudes, getting money, or being a sugar baby or whatever. Those things get applauded on social media. Let's be real. They get applauded on social media. And those are decisions you're making when your brain is not fully developed, right?
Right.
You know, there's all so, but when it's in the context of an older man dating a younger woman, it's always put into the older man as some evil manipulator, groomer. You know, that's the instant. You don't know anything about them, and you label them immediately with that. And I think that's getting a little goofy. Okay, if you know the details, you can say that. If you know this person is of unsavory character, fine. But it'd be some random strangers or celebrity couple. People get mad at Leonardo DiCaprio. Y'all don't know nothing about what he's doing or anything. All y'all know is the age number, and he gets thrown under the bus as being some kind of manipulative groomer. And it's like,
Let me
okay,
ask you something.
man, it's getting a little silly.
Hold on. How old are you, Ryan?
I'm 36.
And how old is your girl?
She's older than me.
Okay. So she older than you. By how many years?
A couple.
So what's a couple? 2, 3, 4, 5?
2.
10? 2?
Yeah, she's 38. Okay.
Oh, literally a couple.
If you want to put me a
I
number
mean, you
on it.
act like it's a huge secret. I don't know her name.
Not.
I'm just
It's
asking.
Not. It's not.
Okay, so you act like you didn't want to answer. Okay, so I can't use your situation, obviously, but and I would have if the age set it right. If you were older than her, okay. But your mind, what you're thinking and how you're speaking is how you feel, and that's your opinion, and that's okay. That's the way you feel. But at the end of the day, you trying to convince the rest of the world that how someone feels about a younger girl dating an older guy is not going to change. And because of that fact, it's let me I went the wrong way. A lot of girls or women, I shouldn't say girls because we're women. A lot of women my age have been through that situation, which is why we say what we say to the younger generation. Now, what you do with that information is your choice. If you want to date an older man because that's what you've always wanted, then go for it. Do you, boo? I don't have no problem with it. Love is love. But at the same time, as I said before, okay, a lot of times men do look for younger women because that's what they prefer, because they can, or in their head, they say younger women don't have baggage. Did you not see the story with Marcus Houston? Marcus Houston is what, like 40, and his wife is 20 or 19. They started dating, or he claimed.
He should have never said any of that, to be honest. Look, let's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
My point is that what he said was wrong, because more than likely he started dating her sooner than 17. I mean, sooner than 18.
Yeah.
Definitely he did. Okay. But the words that came out of his mouth during his interview on the R&B Money podcast with Tank and Jay Valentine was that he couldn't get women his age, or he won't date women close to him in age because they got too much baggage already. So he'd rather date someone young that doesn't know anything about the world. Nothing. She hasn't lived a life yet. And when I say that, I mean leaving the house to go to college, trying to live on her own, and then move back home at least 3 times before you get it right. Dating shitty men, and I'm not saying all men are shitty. Okay? But when you're in your 20s, for us, a lot of us women, that's what we dated. Shitty men. Situations. She never had a situationship. She hasn't lived life in the dating world because this man came along who is basically 20 years older than her and married her because of the fact that she's so young. In his mind, she don't have any baggage because she hasn't lived in the world yet. So I can mold her into what I want for me and have her in my world the way I want her to be. Because more than likely, like you said earlier, and I understand you said you like the fact that I'm aggressive, although I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like that's a little offensive. A lot of us have already lived, and so therefore we know what we want in a man, and that we know what we are looking for and what we're not willing to put up with. So in turn, men call that baggage because we're not willing to put up with the shit that they come with because they're not healed yet.
But to be fair, a lot of that, what we call baggage, is you being scorned and taking that trauma into a new relationship. So now I got to answer for the niggas who did you wrong when I have not done anything in that case. You know,
You know
I've
what
dealt
I
with it
hear a lot
myself.
of,
I've
though?
dealt with women. I've dealt with women who got cheated on, and they suspected me of cheating all the time, and
Well,
I
I'm
did
sorry.
nothing to even imply that.
I'm
And
sorry to
that
hear
type of
that.
shit is baggage.
Okay, and I'm sorry to hear that. You know, but what I'm hearing from you, Ryan, because you got a rebuttal for everything, is that, you know, and I'm not saying in a bad way. That's the way this is supposed to go. This is debate. But what I'm hearing a lot of is what you say, and I know I'm probably wrong about this. What you say is law, and that's it.
What I'm saying is what I believe.
Okay, and
And
what
what
I
you're
say
saying is what you believe.
exactly. So we can agree to disagree, because I feel like every time that I'm on the podcast and I talk to you guys and we talk about men, women, dating, and relationships, which is a huge part of it, and I'm grateful. You know, I haven't dated in 5 years. Just put that out there. But I feel like we go back and around in circles in our questions, in our thoughts, in our answers towards each other. So you're gonna feel what he said. This woman wild as fuck and not living in log.
Don't read the comments. Okay.
He said men get this all
Miguel
through
was
their
going
20s. Now I got some money in my 30s. Hell no, I don't want a 35-year-old. Miguel.
Block the comments from Jazz.
No, don't block the comments from me.
Real quick, let me.
Miguel, how am I crazy? And how am I not living in logic?
To
No,
Miguel,
no,
I think
don't defend this man. Because
the
he
point-
shouldn't have said that. He don't, like you said earlier, we don't know nothing. You don't know me, and you don't know what I've lived through when it comes to men and relationships.
Look,
I hope you die alone.
calm down.
With
calm
your hand
down,
on your
calm
penis
down,
jacking off in a
calm
sock.
down,
Because
calm
what you
down.
not gonna do is say you don't want no 35-year-old. Honey, them 35 and 40-some-year-old women are looking way better than them 20-something. So go ahead about your business.
Okay, look, let's
Thank
not
you and
lie
goodbye.
now, okay.
If you want the smoke, I got it.
Look,
That's why y'all don't bring me on this show, because people be trying me.
we'll bring you on anytime, okay? We're
That's what
not.
y'all
Look,
always say.
we ain't scared of debate, okay? That's the one thing. You think I'm just attacking, and you think my word is law. Like I'm just trying to introduce other viewpoints, okay?
And I hear your viewpoints.
I'm
but
just trying to.
you
That's
are
all I'm trying to
always
do.
Constantly fighting me.
I don't see this as a fight. That's the thing. It's the difference. I don't see this as a fight. Okay.
You got
I'm
a cousin
trying to-
like you, and I know how y'all are. How are we?
I
How
don't
are
see
we,
this.
Miguel?
I don't see this as a fight. Is what I'm saying. I don't see it as me versus you. I
don't
see
either.
you have an idea, and if I disagree, I will challenge it. But it's not like I just disagree with it because you're saying it. Okay, it's all love on the podcast. Okay,
No, I
enjoy
understand
talking
that.
to you, J Belle. Just to clear that air. It's not like I see it
Hold
as
on,
you just
pause.
somebody who's crazy and wrong.
Hold on, pause,
Miguel.
Ryan.
Miguel.
You need to go ahead and go play your little damn Call of Duty game that you playing by yourself with your whatever you got, soda and pizza, while you sitting up here calling me bitter. If I'm so bitter, why the hell you on this podcast that's live streaming on a Friday night? Why your ass ain't out on a date or out at the club trying to pick up somebody? Don't you ever in your life?
Miguel, stick around with the podcast.
Yeah.
You can come another night. You ain't got to be on tonight if you're going to sit here and call me names, honey, because we can go at it. Let me know your location, because I'll be on the way.
Hey, chill
Don't
out.
do that.
Chill out. Don't do
know,
that.
because when you're trying to explain something from experience of what you're going through, especially because I'm in a healing process too, to be called bitter is so derogatory, okay? It's so derogatory and so disrespectful. Because we're having a conversation and I'm explaining what I'm saying from experience of healing. Because if I was so bitter, I wouldn't even like you niggas. No, that's real talk. I wouldn't fuck with none of y'all. I wouldn't even have social media where people don't know me at all after what I've been through with men. But don't call me bitter, because I'm the coolest motherfucker on the planet. I'm way cooler. Yeah, you got it with me, Miguel, because you started it.
Bro, Miguel said he squashed his beef with Landry. Now he got it with J Belle.
Because he started it. Don't start nothing you can't finish, boo. Don't cash no check. Don't put your name on no check that you can't cash.
Look, we all have our different viewpoints. We do have a sports oriented male audience, so we do
I
get
see.
those
Yeah.
viewpoints as well.
Yeah, you should see our damn text line.
Yeah, nah, this
Yeah.
wilder shit going on
Yeah.
on the radio show. So
Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, y'all got two different viewpoints, but I will say that I feel like we all can agree with this, that somebody older, man or woman, have a more experienced mindset than a 20-year-old man or woman.
Exactly, because they haven't
Fair.
lived life.
yeah, I don't. My only counterpoint is I don't think it's necessarily I want to mold you into this robot who does what I say. Because look, if you want somebody to wait on you hand and foot, the last thing you're gonna do is get a 20-year-old something. Okay. Because look, this new generation is not no maid type servant people.
Please get your
Okay.
homie. No, I'm dead ass.
Chill out. Leave the
I'm
comments
dead
alone.
ass. Like I've stopped laughing. I'm
Leave-
no longer joking. My brother, you do not know
come on,
me.
Come on.
You don't know me
on.
from a can of motherfucking paint.
Miguel, just
And when I
just
start
chill.
cursing like this, it's a motherfucking problem.
Miguel,
No.
just chill, man. Chill, man.
Okay, let's get into some fun stuff, man.
Yeah.
Let's switch up. Let's switch up
Hype
the
it up,
topics.
man.
I'm sick of his ass. He about to get cussed out on
Switch
this
up the
damn.
topics, okay? Let's.
They ain't gonna never
Let's
want me
hype it
back.
up,
This gonna
man.
go
Let's hype it
viral
up.
because I done cussed out somebody on y'all damn podcast.
Look,
To tell him to
all
shut the
good.
fuck
It's
up.
all- Come on now.
Yeah, I don't even say that word like that unless I'm really pissed up. Yeah, you do that. You do that.
All right.
Hang up and listen.
Yeah, let's switch up the topics, man. Let's switch up the topics. Let's talk about some things that happened this week. Now I don't know if y'all been in keeping up on this because I didn't actually see what happened. But J Belle, I know you got a Chris Brown shirt on, so I'm going to assume you're abreast of the situation. What happened between Chris Brown and Usher? I've heard Usher was jumped by Chris Brown's crew, and I think Chris Brown tried to deny that. I don't know what happened, but some kind of altercation happened between those two parties. Can one of y'all break it down? J Belle, break it down. Tell me what happened here, because I don't know.
Let me breathe a second because Miguel really pissed me off.
He said he's gonna shut up and listen, okay?
You better be
I don't
glad
care.
you
He
don't
done
work this
pissed me
First
off.
Talk Radio.
And
boy.
I don't, because I cuss all the motherfuckers out. I heard how
Yeah.
bad talk radio and sports radio is.
Yeah, you just got to mute and keep going.
I deal with that shit on YouTube. People calling me fat and shit. I don't got time for y'all. That's why I block
Look,
motherfuckers.
you can't let that type of stuff get to you. The
No,
internet,
because
people just are like
hold
that.
on, because the reason why I feel this way right now, and we'll get into the Chris Brown Usher drama, is because you called me aggressive first, okay? And I understand you saying that from a light point, but that kind of just snowballed into what's
So Ryan
happening
started
here.
this.
Apparently, look, so
And-
let's address that. I think when I say aggressive, I don't see aggressive as a negative term. Okay, maybe I don't mean for you to take it that way. I mean that's just how it is between us. Like you say, you feel strongly about your beliefs. I feel strongly about my beliefs. Okay, I don't think that's a bad thing to be. To
So
have
then
strong
say-
conviction,
So
a strong conviction.
Do you feel like you're
Actually,
aggressive?
No, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm passionate.
Oh no, I was talking to Rockett.
I
I
can
wasn't
say,
Oh,
okay,
okay, I'm about to
that's
say.
okay.
passionate. Okay.
Yeah, passionate is a bet. I can say passionate. You're very passionate.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay,
I
so
take
we
fat
can switch
over
that up.
aggressive because
I'll
aggressive has a negative connotation, and I'm a black woman, and we already get named a lot of things.
I feel you.
So let's-
I feel you.
okay.
I didn't mean it in a negative way, so I can say passionate. You're a passionate person, okay? Because I think that fits as well. But I did not mean it in a negative, stereotypical black woman type of way. I didn't mean it like that. So
That's all I was
Good
trying to
now?
get to.
We-
So we good, but me and Miguel,
okay.
Miguel can go to hell.
I think Miguel
Okay,
was
here
just
we go.
being passionate.
Yeah, Miguel was
Miguel ain't
passionate.
Or
too.
was he aggressive?
Miguel talking shit. That's what he doing. Passionately talking shit. Now, okay, here we go. So this is what the rumor mill was saying along on Twitter about the Chris Brown and Usher drama. Now, apparently, Chris Brown was upset with Tiana Taylor because she was not a part, or something happened with the AMA tribute performance that he was supposed to do back last year Remember, it got canceled like last minute. It wasn't even announced that he was going to be a part of the show. It was supposed to be like a surprise with him and Sierra. So apparently Tiana Taylor had like dropped out of it, and Chris was still mad at her about that. And so he was trying to have a conversation with her. Of course, she wasn't listening. If you saw the photos in the video, she wasn't listening to him. She was down on her phone. So when he started to skate off, Usher was trying to talk to him to calm him down. And apparently, ooh. Okay.
Let it look. Jay, don't let it. Don't you have to mute? Come on. Don't let it distract you from when you're talking. Okay, we can get to comments later.
No. Because he said something about you. He said something about
I'm
you.
showing
not
my
me.
male privilege.
I don't understand what that means. Okay, so Usher was trying to have a conversation with him. I think he was trying to de-escalate the situation, and Chris skated off saying, "Fuck her." And so then Chris decided to leave with his crew, and they went out the back, and somehow a scuffle happened. Nobody has spoke about it. Tiana Taylor, Chris Brown, or Usher, they have not spoke about it at all in any type of way. So we don't know all the exact details, and knowing Usher and Tiana Taylor, we probably never know. And obviously Chris Brown's not going to open. I'm so sick of him.
Stop.
Okay, I can't help it.
Look at us.
Don't look at us. Don't look at the side of the screen.
I am looking at you. But it's in my it's like in my peripheral right here. I can see.
Okay, can we close the chat somehow? Close the chat for a minute. We're trying to get to the bottom of this Chris Brown and Usher thing. Okay, keep going.
You don't have to do nothing like that. I'm okay. Okay, so apparently they went out back for a second for to talk some more. Chris Brown and his crew, and basically it seems as though they jumped Usher. Now they're saying that Usher had like a bruised rib and like blood on his face or something like that. Of course, you saw the video when he was at Lovers and Friends that there was nothing wrong with his face. Like his face looked perfectly fine. That's not to say that the rest of his body was hurting, but that's what happened. And then the second incident, I'm pretty sure that's what you're mentioning too, what happened at Lovers and Friends Festival. Backstage, there was a scuffle. And so the thought was Chris actually started it, but Chris was actually trying to break it up because his son was back there. And so he was telling everybody to back up. My son is right here. Please, stop fighting around me. And that's what happened in that situation. Nothing else more has come out of it in that case.
So my question, real quick, because I was looking at this too. Did this really happen? Because a lot of people saying nothing happened, like the fight didn't happen. I think
the fight
Usher,
between Chris and Usher?
Yeah, or whatever happened, like the altercation never happened. So did it really happen or did it not happen?
That's what I'm saying. Like nobody has really talked about it, so nobody honestly knows the truth. They just saw what they saw in that first part of that video and nothing else after that came. So nobody knows the true details of what really happened behind the skating rink of the birthday party Chris had that Usher was throwing him. I want people to realize that your friend, probably your mentor, threw you a birthday party and you want to fight at it because you're mad at whatever because you don't know how to handle your emotions correctly. So I did wear this breezy shirt, and this was before y'all asked me to be on this podcast. But this was last year before I was really mad at Chris Brown and his, not exciting performance on tour. Anyway, I just wear this now because I paid a lot of money for it, and it's a comfort shirt.
So Chris Brown causing problems again, beating up R&B legends now. That's a damn shame.
That's the alleged rumor that's going around. It
Look,
has not been
at
confirmed.
some point, like if we found out that O.J. Simpson might have stabbed somebody else, are we going to assume that it might be true given his history?
O.J. did it. OJ did it.
Chris Brown has a history of violence.
Wait, hold on a second. Figgy, turn back on them damn comments.
No,
okay?
we're blocking out. No, don't. We don't want you.
I'm fine. Turn on the comments.
You're not, because every time Miguel says something, you stop talking to address what he says. At least finish your point before you go into the comments is what I ask. You keep going back and forth mid-point.
Okay, I will do that. I will do
back on in a few minutes, all right?
I will. No, turn it on now. I will do what Ryan asks of me. I will do what Ryan asks for me. I'll make sure I get my point out before I respond to the comments.
All right.
Are we good? Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
So everybody want to try me on this beautiful Friday.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, shoot, what we was talking about?
Chris Brown and
Chris
Usher.
Brown and Usher. I'm sorry. Chris Brown and Usher. My teeth so white. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. We were talking about Chris Brown and Usher, but I feel like y'all got the information. Do y'all have more questions? Because I mean, there's nothing really else to it until Chris Brown or Usher or Tiana Taylor speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing else we can say about it. But the problem I have with it, and I don't know if I'm talking about you, J Belle, but I have a problem with the Chris Brown stand.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm not a stan. I'm not a stan.
Okay, so I'm not talking about you, but the people look, like the report went out. I don't know if it's true or not, but the problem I have with it is it's always some drama with this dude, man. Like, I don't even know if even if it's not true. Like, why is it drama with Usher? When was the last time Usher been in in a fight? Like, when the last time we heard Usher being in a fight?
I'm hot.
Like,
Sorry. I don't think I've ever heard of Usher being in a fight. I'm so sorry. I'm hot. I think I'm going through perimenopause.
But yeah, I think, man, like, I think it's just crazy how these fans just keep saying, "Oh, well, that's not true," or "No, like that's fake," and like we go through this every single time, man.
The problem is that there's too many blogs. Yeah, there's too many blogs that think that they're beating each other to the punch for news that is not true. And the way that Twitter is now, Elon Musk basically he took off all the guidelines, really, so people can post what the fuck they want. You know, so yeah, these gossip sites, they're gonna post what they think they got the clue from a person that was in the crowd on the other side of the stage. They wasn't even nowhere close to backstage. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're just gonna make up stuff because they want the person that's sharing the information, they want to become famous and look like they're doing something because people get paid to get these tips. And that's why a lot of times all this false information is coming out, like the Jamie Foxx situation. I know we're talking about Chris Brown and Usher, but think about the Jamie Foxx situation. So many different stories have come out that he's basically about to die. He's about to turn for the worse. And then his daughter had to post an IG story, which I respect because she doesn't have to do shit. Okay. Post a story saying that he's fine. He's been out of the hospital for weeks now, and he's playing pickleball, which everybody went crazy. What is pickleball? We're not entitled to know information just because they are celebrities. It's a privilege to know what we know. It's not a right. Although, okay, when stories like Chris Brown fighting a whole R&B legend, that's a different story. Yeah, we want to know, but there's nothing else out there for us to tell. So for people to fight over if the information is true or not, we can't do nothing. There's nothing to fight about until Usher and Chris Brown and Tiana Taylor speak out, which is not going to happen. So let it go and move on. That's how I feel about those people.
Yeah. I'm kind of past the actual situation. Like, to be honest, I don't really care about the actual situation.
Right.
Like I said, the problem I have is with the Chris Brown stands, man. Like when are we going to sit and have a real conversation about this dude, man?
Yes, and here's to that point. This is why I say the cancel culture shit is just who you don't like gets canceled. But when it's somebody you like, it's that clip from Friday, man. Oh, that was different, you know, because suddenly, like I agree with what you said. We should, until we have information, we shouldn't speculate baselessly and just make up stuff. But that's what people do for everybody else.
Yeah, they do.
Like, let's be real. Like, I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Majors thing. So I haven't said anything about it. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I'm not somebody who suddenly trusts the police after all we in the history in this country. Suddenly I'm going to go by what the police are alleging. So I'm waiting for more information. But there are people who are completely comfortable saying he did it. And it's like, where is the same energy? But whenever Chris Brown, if it's a Chris Brown fan, I'm not saying you, but like a Chris Brown fan, when for the millionth time he's been accused of some violent bullshit, whether it's grabbing a woman by the hair, throwing shit at Good Morning America, whatever cocaine fuel allegedly rage she's in at the moment.
Fighting other R&B artists,
fighting another R&B legend.
Frank Ocean.
Suddenly it turns into
Y'all
making
call Frank
excuses
Ocean
for
an R&B
him.
legend?
No, I said R&B artists. I said R&B artists.
I mean, many would call him a legend. I wouldn't, but some would.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't either.
But all I'm saying is, when it comes to your favorite, I don't mean you, but just people in general, the rules are different.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, you don't morally grandstand on something just because you don't care about it. And then when it's your favorite person, be like, nah, it's different. Like, look, I was a fan of R. Kelly. I listen to his music, and I know from what we've learned, I'm comfortable saying this nigga is guilty.
Yeah.
Like, he deserves to be in prison for 30 fucking years. Okay, I can say that, and I was a fan. But many people who are fans of these artists and actors and whoever, they got to blindly defend them just because it's their favorite.
Right.
And that gets annoying.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I like his music, but he needs to get help.
Right.
Somebody in this corner need to talk to him, or he need to go to, like, I hate to say he's on drugs, even though he might be.
Oh, he is. Y'all didn't see that video? I think he was overseas was it overseas? Anyway, I saw a video on Twitter that caught Breezy basically sneaking to take a snort of coke. And then he cleaned his nose like this and then went back to smoking. He's definitely doing coke, which is unfortunate because he has bipolar. He's bipolar. And so doing stuff like that is really, really bad. But the problem with the situation with Chris Brown is, first of all, he started, being a star at a young age. Let's start there. And when you become a huge star, we all know this, women and people are going to throw themselves at you. Older women. You're going to have a whole bunch of yes men. And what Chris Brown has had over the years are nothing but yes men. And I have to include his mom in that, because his mom lets him get away with a lot of that stuff too, because she's living off of the fruits of his labor. So she doesn't say anything, or at least we don't know she doesn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have a person like that has lived a life the way Chris Brown has, you're going to continuously get this behavior, because nobody is sitting him down and telling him, you need to straighten the fuck up before you lose everything. Because he doesn't have that mindset. Because his record label let him do whatever he wants.
More so, the issue is that he's pretty much messed up in every way you can, and he's still been around to make money.
Yeah.
If the Rihanna thing happened now, that would be the end of him.
Yeah.
But it happened at a time where we didn't care as much, I guess. So he was able to still have a career afterwards. Yeah, he did get blackballed. He did
for
lose
a while,
lot,
yeah.
But if that happened now, he would be done.
Yeah.
I mean, his career is not as good, or not as, I keep getting all these freaking notifications.
But he's still getting on like top artist features. He's still,
because they
he
all
was
love
just
him.
on the damn Chloe album.
Yeah, it's literally, honestly, I don't want to compare the two, but this is really a mirror image of R. Kelly without the nasty stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Because it happened with R. Kelly. We heard
people
about
knew what happened. Yeah, people were knowing what R. Kelly was into.
And the video.
Exactly.
And
he still was.
He was still probably bigger than what Chris Brown is currly.
No, actually, he's not.
No, I'm saying at the time, like the.
Oh, at the time. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Because 12 Play dropped.
Yeah,
and
because
then,
the video. When did the video drop?
That was like early 2000s.
Oh, you mean the P video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like mid 2000s.
He had some albums after that was pretty big.
But he was still making a lot of money. He was still doing hits.
He was still a big artist making money.
Did the duet albums with Jay-Z before he went crazy on stage and thought somebody was trying to shoot him, and that was the end of that. It is going down the same realm a little bit. They're ignoring the issues here. Yeah. But like I said, he has nothing but yes men around him. And that's why he's able to get away with a lot of the crap that he's been doing. But on the hand of Jonathan Majors, I don't know if you guys saw, but apparently his lawyer passed along text messages between Jonathan Majors and the ex-girlfriend of her apologizing and saying that she didn't want to press charges and all this other stuff. And the only thing he said was, I think he said like "fuck you, bitch" or something like that. He cursed at her a couple of times. But also too, other stories came out in a pretty big publication. I think it was New York Times, of other allegations of doing the same thing with women.
Yeah, New York Times.
Yeah, okay. Other allegations of abuse with other women, and it's even gone as far back as to when he was in Yale, of these abuse allegations with women. So I mean, the evidence is out there, but because once again they're big stars, you think about it. Jonathan Majors, before this story came out, 2 box office hit movies, Ant-Man and then Creed 3. So even before that, the stuff he was doing with Lovecraft Country, like he was building up a really good resume of roles. So knowing that these things probably happened during that time, not the current incident, but other incidents, and they still let him go on, it's the same situation. Now it's just out in the open, and the world knows that he may be an abuser, just like Chris Brown. So it's not to say there's no evidence of that situation out there. It's just now slowly coming out because of what happened with this one particular girl. We all know what color she was. And and now all the other stories are coming out.
Yeah, but like there are allegations, man. That's why, like I say, more information needs to come out. And look, like I'm not defending. Like I have no take on it, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like
get that.
whatever. I'm sure he has the best lawyer and whatever. I'm sure the state are confident in their case against him. So I'm like with the whole. I had the same take with the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. I took no sides. I said let's let it play out in court. Let's see the evidence presented and make our decisions after that. But people jump on the bandwagon of whoever they like, and the other person has to be in the wrong or a liar or whatever. So
The only reason why I would say I'm on Meg's side on that situation, is because she did not speak out about the incident for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Until people kept coming at her and saying all these false narratives, and even Tory was spreading false narratives. And then that's when she spoke up about what happened, and that's what made me personally believe her in what happened. And even when the photos, although they should have never came out, that's a whole nother situation, of how her foot looked. And even when, I think like not too long after the incident happened, she had to do the whole, because the world was shut down. So she did a whole concert on Tidal. And if you saw how she was moving, something happened. You can tell something happened with her foot, because she was not, the way she moves, and y'all seen it. Y'all see how she performs. You know, she wasn't moving that way that day. And that's what made me believe something did happen. And then all that other stuff with the girl, the ex-best friend and stuff, that was a mess too. That's what made me believe Meg personally. But back to the whole thing.
the court case made it pretty clear that he shot her at that point.
Right.
And then
But
you hear the
before
voicemail, all that stuff. Yeah, but
before that.
Okay.
Yeah, before that, that's what made me believe Meg. Before the court case even came about and it happened, that's what I believed Meg way before that.
Yeah, and honestly, we kind of played it fair, but I think we were kind of leaning towards Meg because I was just thinking more of a person. Like, why would somebody lie about getting shot? Like, that's a huge lie. I mean, it's one thing to lie about maybe getting pushed or getting hit or something like that because you can't really prove it.
Right.
But lie about getting shot, you got to see the bullet wound or something.
Yeah.
So
and that's what they showed.
And I was kind of trusting Meg a little more to think she wouldn't lie about something like that. So, but yeah, the court played it out. And speaking of that, I think Tory Lanez got denied a new trial.
He did. He's looking at.
He will get sentenced. I think
they said 20 years, but they're looking at 9. He's looking at 9 years.
9 to 22 years or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some fun stuff because I feel like the
Yeah.
energy died because Miguel killed it. Okay, we need to have some
Look,
fun.
You watched the show Snowfall, right, J Belle?
Oh,
You're a fan of
man.
Snowfall.
I had to go do a rewatch before season 6 or after season 6 started.
I meant to bring this up. I know Figgy has watched it as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to watch it now. I usually stay until I know the end is good, since I'm not going to get Game of Thrones again or Powered again. So I'm like, let me wait till it ends and I know it's good all the way through and I'll watch it. So from what I understand, the finale was pretty good. So I'm going to check it out now. I'm going to watch the whole show. But what were y'all thoughts on the finale and how the show Snowfall ended?
I thought it was perfect, man.
Yeah, I was like, without giving too many spoilers.
I ain't gonna give it up too much, but I thought it was a perfect ending. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't like a power type of ending. And what I mean by power type of ending is, you know, the person social media liked the most go out with a bang, and the person skip off to Europe or Mexico or something and never get caught or anything like that. I felt like the ending was perfect. It was kind of, I don't want to say relatable, but it was something where, you know, I can see something like that happening. And
to me, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, to me, it was kind of like full circle because if you remember from the first season when his father came back into his life and how he looked, and like father, like son. I will say this. I was mad at first because I was like, dang, you know, the CIA kind of set him up and then they go take it all away from him. That's reparations right there. That's his money. But thinking about why everyone around him did what they did, it makes a lot more sense. And that was a really good ending. And Damson Idris can act his ass off. Okay? Well, he did in Snowfall anyway. A lot of people didn't like Swarm, but I thought he was good in Swarm too. Yeah, it was really good, really good. I'm gonna have to rewatch. I'm gonna do a rewatch of all 6 seasons just to kind of see what I missed the first time around. You know, but yeah, I was very satisfied with the ending.
Yeah, it's a really good show, man. I know a lot of people putting it up there, you know, trying to put in the conversation of The Wire and.
So rank those shows. I want y'all both to rank them between Snowfall, The Wire, and Power. Which shows? What is 1, 2, and 3?
To be honest, man. See, it's like Power is 3. I start there. Power is 3, but I think The Wire was really good as far as like the storylines and how realistic it was. But the only thing that the only thing that bothers me with The Wire now is just how old it is. And when you watch it now, it's just kind of like, it just looks so old compared to like Snowfall, which got some damn good camera shooting. You got some damn good directing, probably top notch.
When you say old, you don't mean the setting because the Snowfall's in the 80s.
Yeah,
but you mean more so like the production.
The production.
Okay.
The actual visual. Because look, stuff that was produced in the 2000s kind of look rough, and it's like trying to watch it now, it might be a little hard to get into. But just the visual of Snowfall really looks good. Some of the best camera view I've seen in the show, probably in a long time or ever.
The last episode is really great. The last 2 episodes, in my opinion, have really great camera work. The production on it is. Yeah,
the camera work always been fire, man. Like,
but
even from season 1, it's just like I love, like, you know this, J Belle, but whenever it's like a scene going on and they just do that full circle of camera work where it's just like so much going on and it's just like one shot and it's just going around in a circle slowly. It's just like, man, like it really looks good. It's top notch.
So basically, you're saying Snowfall is number 1 and Wire is number 2 and number 3 is Power.
I will flip back and forth with 1 and 2, to be honest. But to me, The Wire, I got to be honest, with Snowfall, it was some stuff in there where it was just like, man, this ain't even realistic. But The Wire, to me, everything in The Wire was realistic. It wasn't, you know, it didn't look like Power where, you know, they was just, you know, getting millions of dollars a day. and they stand in this high rise. It seemed like it was really like some hood shit when it comes to The Wire. And when somebody go to jail, they gone. Like the guy, I want to say season 1 or season 2, he went to jail and that was it. Like it was no breaking out of jail. It was nobody dressed up as a guard or a CEO breaking somebody out. He didn't. It was no weird evidence to make him get out. It was just it. And then the storyline went on to the guy's son, who kind of grew up a little bit and he escaped the streets a little bit. So I think what I really like about The Wire is how realistic it is. I felt like I could have played in The Wire.
Wait, when you say the son, because
I think you're talking about Weebay, right?
Weebay, yes.
Yeah,
Weebay.
Okay,
because Avon Barksdale was
Avon got locked up at the end of season 1. He came back, but I think he meant Weebay because Weebay got locked up and he was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I remember Avon Barksdale getting arrested, but then who took over after that was Stringer Bell until he got killed off, and then the other dude
killed.
Yeah,
and then Marlo came.
Marlo, that's what I was thinking of. Marlo.
Which is funny because Marlo, it seemed like Marlo kind of had the same thing, kind of the same ending as Franklin a little bit, outside of Franklin just being totally messed up. But it was kind of the same. Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't be looking at the comments. But,
I'm not even looking. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, but it seemed like Marlo and Franklin kind of had a similar thing where at one point they was on top, they got hit, and then they started right back at the bottom. So those shows are somewhat similar, but I would probably flirt with both of those 1 and 2.
Yeah, let me switch over. Okay.
You reading the comments again, J Belle? What's going on? You okay? You said you're gonna be okay if we turned them back on. Okay.
I am fine. That's why I switched over.
Okay.
I went to private chat.
Okay. So rank them. Wait, have you seen Breaking Bad?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I did.
Okay, rank those then. Put Breaking Bad in there. Where would you put Breaking Bad, Figgy?
Breaking Bad is a really good show. I will probably at that point, man, like Power is out the top 3. we had Breaking Bad, man. Breaking Bad is really good, man. It's pretty much the same shit as like it's pretty much the same shit as like I would put that
the White Snowfall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, when you think about it,
it's Snowfall in New Mexico. that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, you are there. I forgot you was there.
Child,
you go back.
Ernesto says he brought up Heroes. I used to love that show. You ever watch Heroes? That old show that was on NBC, I think.
Yes, I used to love that show, and then it went down the shitty drain because of the writer's
season
strike.
2. I think season 2 was falling off before the writer's strike, though. It was just bad. But Heroes.
I want to get my rankings though. You didn't ask me about
my bad. Okay, rank them.
Because we be getting off subject. We all got ADD. That's the problem working in radio. We all got ADD.
Oh yeah.
So because I have not finished The Wire, only because I have not finished The Wire, I'm gonna put Wire at number 3. Ew. And I'm gonna tell you why though. Because number 1, I haven't finished, so I gotta finish it. Okay. But number 2, like. To me, after Stringer Bell, which obviously is Idris Elba, died, and the young boys were starting to take over, like Michael B. Jordan, other, Mac Wiles, I kind of lost interest in it a little bit.
Really?
So, yeah, I did just a little bit.
I think that's when it really got good, but
yeah.
So that's why. So I have to do a rewatch. I got to watch it on HBO, so I'm gonna have to watch it from the beginning.
You're gonna have to. Yeah, you gotta get through those seasons because it's like stuff like that.
And then, because I finished Power, although I was mad at the ending, because I didn't think it was going to be Tariq that shot him. I thought it was going to be somebody else, maybe Tasha or Tommy. So that ending made me mad. So that's why it'll be at 2. Because, honestly, the first 2 seasons were really, really great. 3rd season lagged a little bit. And then it picked up the 4th and 5th season. And then, as we all know, the first half of season 6 was great, but the second half of it was trash. So the only reason why I put The Wire at number 3 is because I haven't finished it yet. So I can't give it a fair judgment. Power I finished, so it'll be at number 2. To me, Snowfall was great from beginning to end because Louis and Franklin made me both want to kill their ass every single episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the real tea. Louis, Franklin, and Jerome together, that's what made the damn show. Okay? Especially Jerome. Because his ass is funny on that damn show. So that's why I put that at number 1. He was funny as hell.
fucking titties in the bitches.
I love Jerome. I love Jerome. That is my favorite character on the...
Get that trigger next time, nigga.
Man, how to squabble.
Yeah, it's time to squabble, nigga. Now I gotta go back and watch all of these.
Yeah.
So Breaking Bad, I can't put anywhere because I never watched it before. So I'm gonna have to watch it. My aunt started watching it, and I tried to get into it, but by the time she was halfway through it, so I couldn't get into it. So I'm gonna have to watch that later, and then I can give you a correct ranking of all the series.
Okay. Yeah. Breaking Bad is arguably 1 or 2 for me. Like, I would go The Wire and Breaking Bad are like neck and neck in my opinion. Both had some things I didn't agree with, but for the most part, they're just perfect throughout the entire run, which is very rare for a show that runs for like more than 2 seasons to be really good throughout the entire run. And The Wire and Breaking Bad were just 2 shows that were good from start to finish. You know, we as a community have to be real about Power. It is just not a good show, man. Like, I think people got caught up in the drama of watching it week to week. But I feel like if you go back and watch it, like, I got on late. And when I was watching Power, it was like, after a while, season 1 was pretty good. Season 2 was there. And it became like a comic book type show after a while with like fucking Ghost and Tommy just being invincible. You know, getting into the worst kind of shit anybody could get into and somehow making it out okay. And everything is okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when I say that's why I got Power 3, because it's good action. It's really good action. If you're looking for just looking for people to go out guns blazing.
Yeah.
But it's not even realistic, man. It's like dog, how they killed this drug dealer that was going to jail forever. What Lobos? Like, remember how they killed him? That shit was crazy. Like
Tommy get cornered by a whole cartel and is about to be killed until like one thing happens and Slade just let him go. It's like, okay, man. It gets to a point where it's just a little too comic book or like way too ridiculous.
I think the problem with that show, to be honest, is I feel like the writers this is no disrespect, but I feel like they pay attention to how we look at the show, who we like.
Yes.
And they keep them around.
No, not necessarily.
That was what fucking ruined Game of Thrones, by the way. That ruined Game of Thrones.
But I don't agree with that statement, Figgy. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of us love us some Julio on that show. And they killed him off. He was a good character. And he was loyal. Where's Two-Bit?
But Julio, they killed him. He had another show going.
I don't care, but they killed him off, and people loved Julio.
Yeah, but I think he had another show going on, so he probably couldn't do the show. So he probably put in his 2 weeks notice or something.
There's a lot of favorite characters that people have had on that show that got killed off, and we were upset about it. So I don't.
Who got killed off on Power, really? 50 Cent should have been died, and he kept coming back. That was ridiculous.
Now that part, you know why 50 Cent came coming back.
Saying.
You know.
He got killed at the very end, probably because he got tired of doing this shit.
No, he got killed at the end of season 5.
Yeah.
The end of season 5, right?
4
Yeah.
or 5, yeah.
I think so. But there were some characters they killed off that I believe that people loved. But most of the characters, like nobody gave up. Why those characters didn't die?
But see, my point is they keep some of the characters that probably, if it was a regular show that never paid attention to like social media or anything like that, in a realistic way, they would probably be gone. They'd probably be in jail for good, or they probably would have been killed. Tommy should have been killed. Let's be real.
No, Tommy is a G.
did some wild stuff, man.
See, they knew women loved Tommy, so they had to
Tommy
keep him
is a G.
around.
It was
But
No,
he
but
got
if
the
I
worst
had
type
no,
of
but
shit
if I
and
had to
somehow
choose
lived.
between Tommy and Ghost, I'm gonna choose Ghost because I prefer black men. Tommy cool and everything, but he could be a right hand man, a good right hand man, and a good bodyguard. That's what I see him as. But I forgot to also mention Kanan's son Sean got killed at the end of season 1, and people loved him. People liked him. Saniqua Walls.
No, nobody liked that guy.
I like Sean. I like Sean. Okay, maybe.
Kind of a smaller
Nobody
character,
liked
though.
that guy. Come on now.
Well, I liked him. Shit.
But see, like to me, like imagine like let's look at The Wire. Omar was probably the most popular character of that show.
Man, when
I
he
knew
walked
who
down
Omar-
that sorry, go ahead, sir.
I knew who Omar was before I even watched The Wire. That's how popular he was.
Same. When I saw
They killed him off in the worst way, man. Like, I mean, to me, like, I think a lot of people had a problem with the way they killed him off because it was kind of corny. But when you look back at it, it was realistic because a lot of people get killed like that. So it wasn't like he went out guns blazing in a bank or some shit and tried to escape to Mexico and the cops just blew him up. He got caught slipping in the store trying to he's trying to get some cigarettes or something.
Yeah.
He just got caught slipping by somebody we don't even know who the fuck it was. So,
Omar knew who
power
the
don't
fuck it
really do
was.
stuff like that, huh?
Omar knew who the fuck it was.
Did he?
I don't know.
Nah, it was like a random kid. He didn't know that. He didn't know who that kid was.
The kid
But-
knew who he was though for some reason.
You even
For him
get to
shoot
that
him.
part. You haven't seen the scene yet, Jay.
Well,
you can't
I
even
just
comment
know
on it, okay?
I feel it in my heart.
You ain't even seen
Yeah.
that scene yet. You
Yeah.
gotta
I probably
catch
have
up.
You got to get back on. You got to watch
Okay.
The Wire.
But my point, the reason why I was about to say is that when Omar walked down the street with that shotgun, that's how I knew he was the character to watch out for. But now that you said he died, I don't even know if I want to watch it no more.
No, it's a good show. Like, to me, like, if you watch all the seasons,
See, this is why Power was like the #1 rated show or whatever. This kind of mentality of I like this character, so they should never die. Like, I'm so against that mentality because I feel like the story should come first in every single TV show. And I started to hate Game of Thrones when all the popular characters just stayed alive and for no reason at all. I feel like the story matters most. I don't care who dies. As long as the story stays interesting, that's all that matters.
do you think when people who create shows like this, do you think, I guess, was it a time where some shows did do this and the show kind of went to shit after they killed off like a good character?
Yeah,
Because
this happened.
it seemed like a lot of shows are scared to do this now.
Yes.
I mean, it's only a few shows that anybody, like, to me, The Walking Dead, it seemed like anybody can get it at that point. But outside of that, man, it seemed like everybody be scared to kill off the bad guy. Or
I remember New York Undercover. They killed off one of the main leads, that
Or the
Latino
Rican
guy.
dude.
Yeah. And the show fell off after that, but it wasn't
Torres.
just because
Okay.
he died. It was because the show got whack.
Yeah, the show was bad after a while.
Yeah, I remember that. My parents was talking about how the show fell off after that.
Cause didn't what's his name? He played Tommy on Martin.
Yeah,
I know
Thomas.
you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember his
Thomas
actual
Ford.
name.
Thomas Ford.
There you go. When they added him on the show and he took over for the white lady that was on there, and they moved him, and Torres was gone, and they added this white guy character and all this stuff. I was like, this is some bullshit. And they came out in like 95, 96.
Yeah, 94, 95.
Yeah. So like it was just like it was a bad show. There have been shows where they killed off the main character and the ratings tanked, and they just ended up canceling the show because it just was not good, and people loved that character.
Now, I do want to throw this in too because what I wonder, did New York Undercover mean to kill him off? Was that part of the script, or is
I think it was contract negotiations.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
The same thing with Chris Maloney when he was on Law and Order the first time.
Yeah.
He left after season 12 because he wanted just as much money as Mariska Hargitay, and they wouldn't give him that, so he left. And now he got his
Yeah.
own damn show. I know that's right.
Yeah, and you see, and
Zeddy.
you see what they did with him. They kept his little his character open. They ain't kill him off.
Yeah, because the door was always open. They talked
Yeah.
about that too when he left, that the door was
Yeah,
always open for
exactly.
him to
That's
come
why-
back.
Yeah, that's why I always pay attention to that type of stuff. Whenever a big character leave, like, did they kill him off? Did they do a Charlie Sheen and just say he died in a plane accident or something like that?
Oh, that's
Or
because
did
he
he just
did.
take a trip and left or something? I don't know.
That's because he was on that drug binge acting a damn fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it makes a difference when you have a show like that, when it's like, it's not like they plan ahead what the plot's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those shows are like episode to episode is like every new thing. So when they kill off a character, it's not like they planned on killing them off. It's just some shit happened. But some shit like Game of Thrones or whatever, it's like those are based on books. That was planned to happen. It was set up in the story to happen. Happened.
I never watched Game of Thrones. It just was never. It's never been my thing. I've tried to get into the House of the Dragon, and I watched it for the first half, but I was just like, oh.
Man, I tried to get in Game of Thrones. I couldn't, man.
I don't like that show.
I started off the same as y'all, but it actually is a really good show.
But the way y'all keep
You
talking
got to
about the
get
ending.
you got the first. I think the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are like some of the best TV, man. Like you really got to get through the first few episodes because it starts off kind of slow, but like even if you're not into that kind of setting, like the characters are really good, the story is really good, the way it sets up things that happen in the future, it's really just smart. So I like it, and everybody. It wasn't my cup of tea when I first started. I only watched it because I was producing the show with the host who loved it, and I wanted to keep up with him when he talked about it. But it's actually a really well done show, man. At least the first 4 seasons are really good. After that, it kind of falls off.
It's like 8 seasons, right?
Yeah, but after like the 4th season, they ran out of book stuff to do.
But
it was based on a bunch of books.
Yeah.
But after a while, like the guy takes George R.R. Martin takes too long to write the books. So they brought in some people to make their own original story, and it kind of fell off a cliff. The ending was horrible. Like the ending was so bad. I don't want to talk about that shit anymore.
So why didn't you just end it on season 5 then?
They should have. There was money.
Yeah.
The show got really popular.
No, I believe that because I remember that's all people talked about at one point on
and
Twitter.
that's that low key that kills a show too when the show gets really popular because that's when it's like, okay, we just want to make the fans happy. We don't care about how the story looked no more. Like that's how Power became too. It was like some fucking fan was writing it at the end, man. It's like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah,
that's why I said like the season 3 lagged. 4 and 5 to me got good, and then the second half of season 6 was like trash. That's how I feel. But I do agree with you on some of the storylines that happened in Power that were a little ridiculous and crazy. So
even some of the ways people died. Like what was the lawyer named Proctor?
Man,
like how he went out, man.
He was another one. That was a favorite character. I don't care what y'all say. People like Proctor.
But look at and see how he went out. This dude went out like he was Tony Montana. And you a damn lawyer, man. He went out literally guns blazing.
And they shot up that nice penthouse only because they getting ready to move on.
Yeah, so I'm just like, man, come on, what lawyer And he wasn't like a thug or nothing.
No.
I'm like, what lawyer is going out? Do
you think that came from like that was what they call breaking the fourth wall, where like we know him as old dog, so we wanted to see him go out in like an old dog type of way, even though it made no sense for the character to get into a shootout or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's what happens when you get people who are famous to play a role. It's like we want to see Lawrence Tate. From
Lorenz Tate. Okay, Lorenz Tate. Oh, okay.
He was Proctor, wasn't he?
No.
Oh, wait, never mind. Who's Proctor then?
Proctor is Turtle from Entourage.
Oh, wait, him?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't think of his actual name, but
I forgot. Yeah.
But
I
it's Turtle
thought you were
from
talking about Lorenz Tate.
No,
that guy died
Congressman
in the shootout?
Tate is still alive.
Yes, dog.
Oh, that's crazy.
I wish I could pull this. I don't want to get flagged, but dog, he went out guns blazing.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, because they were in Ghost. Well, Ghost had moved out by then, but they were in Ghost's house.
Yeah,
and Was it Tommy?
Yeah, so he was pretty much he was setting up Tommy pretty much.
He was trying to set up Tommy, but instead he got himself killed.
Yeah, Tommy found out, and Tommy went to go kill him. He sent this. It's funny because Tariq set it all up a little bit.
Yeah,
but
Tariq.
But
Tariq, because I want to
he sent this daughter off with Tariq, or Tariq.
No, Tariq left with his daughter. Yeah, Tariq left with his daughter.
Let's go to the story because he knew what was about to happen.
Yeah,
because Uncle Tommy said leave the door open.
Yeah, so he did. He set up Proctor.
Yeah,
because they all thought Proctor was a snitch. Yeah, he wasn't snitching. Yeah, he was trying to help get his daughter because of what was going on with his wife or whatever, or the stuff with Ghost that was happening or whatever like that. But yeah, they killed off Proctor, and he was a favorite character. Like even now they talk about it on Twitter. Like if you can choose between Proctor and who's the lawyer on Power Book 2? Method Man.
Yeah,
his character. I'm like Proctor all day, bro. He went out like a G. I don't see Method Man's character sacrificing himself for people like that. That's just me. So yeah.
Oh man. Miguel mentioned Empire. I guess he was joking with that. Like he mentioned Empire. We do not put Empire in that rank.
I never watched
shows.
Empire.
I've seen like a couple episodes. Empire, the show with Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I thought we were talking about
we were ranking like
shows.
Empire is kind of in that. Empire and Power were like neck and neck. I guess they were being compared because they were run at the same time. But Empire was horrible.
It was kind of like Sopranos and The Wire.
Yeah.
Empire was good in the beginning, but towards the end, and you can agree to disagree, whatever.
I
liked Power. I like Empire in the beginning, but towards the end, the show got crap. It was just crap, and the ending was trash, just like the rest of the show went trash. Now a show that should come back, Star. Now shut up, don't say nothing else. Move on.
Wait, what is that?
Star on Fox.
Star. Yeah, it's a Star. Yeah, that show ain't even last a season, did it?
No, it lasted 3 seasons.
Did it? Oh, okay.
But they ended where Derek and what was her name? Ryan Destiny's character were married.
Alexandra Crane.
Yes, Alex. It was the name. So it ended where Derek and Alex got married. They were at the wedding, and it came in. Cause y'all know you guys ain't gonna watch this. No. It came in guns a-blazing, and that was it. That was the end. All of a sudden, it got canceled right along with Empire ending. I think Lee Daniels' contract with Fox ended or something like that. But I liked the show. I felt like they had better music, way better music. The girls were way more talented, and the storyline was them building from the ground up versus Empire. They automatically jumped into the life, and then Cookie, here she comes after 19 years of being jailed, and that whole back and forth. Now I like Taraji P. Henson in that show, but yeah, like overall, like Empire was like, if I had to rank it, I would give it like a 6.2 for me.
I've never heard of Star before. I'm looking up the cast.
I remember. I guess when it first premiered, because I watched like maybe a little bit of the first episode, but I'm not really into the musicals a little bit. I know I don't want to sit there and call it a musical, but I'm not into the shows where it's like their original music in there and all that stuff. That's why I ain't really like Empire.
I liked it. If you watch, and maybe a better version, I don't know if you guys are into country music. No? Y'all went to the rodeo.
Yeah.
Nashville, which aired on ABC first, and then it went over to CMT for the rest of its seasons, has 6 seasons. They do original music too, but the storyline, again, towards the end, after they killed off one of the main characters, it was trash. But the music, because everybody could actually sing, was really good. And that's what I liked about Star, is that everybody could actually sing. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that people on Empire couldn't. But another thing, too, with that, they changed music directors on the show for Empire. So first it was Rodney Jerkins for the first 3 seasons, and then they switched to Timbaland. And I feel like even though you guys don't like it. I think that happening and the Juicy stuff.
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, that stuff. Or I say Juicy. Who called him Juicy?
Juicy.
Juicy. Somebody called him Juicy. I can't remember who called him that. I think with that and then the incident with him, I think that's what lowered the ratings for Empire because people were watching it. People were watching.
Do you really think that had an effect on it?
Yeah.
I mean, Jussie Smollett lying about a racial attack. Do you think that affected the ratings of the show? It's not like
changed.
Was he a main
changed.
character? I know he was in the show.
Yeah, he was one of the main characters.
No, okay.
Yeah, he was he was the son, the second oldest son of Cookie and Lucius. So he was a big part of the storyline.
He got put in the trash can at the first episode. I remember that part.
Yeah, that's when he was a kid, but okay. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I do think that because he was taken off the show for one, but all that drama behind him lying, I think that turned people off. And plus the storylines, like you said, they were starting to get a little it was like
yeah. And what season was that? Was that towards the end? Okay.
Yeah, it I think it was like season 5.
Okay, so it could have been with the drop off too. So,
yeah.
Okay.
I do think that. I do truly believe that because I think that happened right around season 5, or before season 5 or after season 5. One of the two. Okay. It had to be before season 5 because I think right after season 5 they announced that Empire would have the 6th and final season with that.
Okay.
So,
the only image of Empire that's going to be stuck in my brain forever is that picture. I guess it's towards the end of Terrence Howard with dreads. Did you see that? Y'all see that shit?
That was the last season.
It was like at the very end, he had like a head full of. It was like the worst wig I've ever seen on a man.
That shit was
Tyler Perry wig.
That shit was the worst. I think that was like he was trying to figure out his life or something, or he left music or something.
Bad.
Hey.
Can't
Miguel says break down Love is Blind. We don't watch Love is Blind. Man.
I don't watch that
mess. I watched the very first season.
And I tried to watch it, and I was like,
you know what show my ex was into that I low key got into for a while? It was that fucking what is that show? Was it Love at First Sight?
You mean Married at First Sight?
It's a show called Love at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
That show was insane, man. I actually got into. I hate when you get into those trashy reality TV shows, but I actually got into that for a little bit. So that was one show I actually watched a little bit of, but everything else I don't know, man.
No, I don't watch those shows. I don't do love matching shows. I don't. The only shows I used to remember watching was the what's it called, The Love Connection. Y'all remember that show?
That was way back in the day.
Yeah. The Love Connection.
Remember they had parodies of that on every sitcom. Like they had a Martin episode where Shanae went on Love Connection.
Yeah. Or Change of Heart. That's what the other show was called, Change of Heart.
Change of Heart with the game infamously started. Where
that's what I remember watching. I don't watch Love is Blind. I watch it enough on Twitter when they talk about it. So.
Oh, look, if this writer's strike lasts long enough, we're gonna see a whole lot of more trash reality TV shows.
Those already out there.
I know, but it's going to pick up if this strike keeps going. So
when you think about it, because the strike in 2007, 2008 happened, that's when reality TV really took off.
over. It did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I need the writer's strike to get it together because I don't need no more reality shows to try to catch up on. I ain't got time.
I think it's going to be a tough one, man.
How long y'all think this strike going to last? Because I think
last one lasted about a year.
Yeah, me and Rockett was talking about this. I want to say last week with the problem. I guess the main problem being kind of the AI situation too, right?
It's a lot of things. It's revenue from streaming.
Right, they want 3%.
That's like I think the big thing for them.
They want
it's AI as well. They don't want any AI stuff involved, which I think is going to be a hard sell. It's a lot of things, but I think it's mainly revenue based. So. I don't know.
In the middle of real life Terminator, an iRobot, like
no, really, we are.
And I Am Legend about to happen too. Shit.
Yeah.
Are you using any AI stuff yet?
I have used Chat GPT. I'm sorry. I just wanted to try it out to see what it can do, and I needed some emails written, and it did it. My boss be using it.
Okay, there you go.
My boss
So
be
you
using
use it.
it.
You've used it for work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
See, making it work for you.
Yeah.
To find work.
Let it clean up your resume, man. It can do that. It can do a lot of things. So
No, my resume is good. It's good.
okay. So other things that happened this week we got to talk about. Should we circle back to the Jamie Foxx thing? Should I get to my theory, or should we let that lie?
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah,
Look, so I know we had a whole issue and discussion about not spreading rumors and making stuff up, but there's new information that came out today about Jamie Foxx and his status. I think it kind of started or sparked off when Tory, who is a like music journalist, been around since forever. I remember him on MTV.
Yeah,
he had that infamous interview with R. Kelly when before Gayle King, way before Gayle King, and he asked R. Kelly if he was attracted to underage girls, and R. Kelly said, "Now, when we say underage, how old are we talking?" And Tory was like, he just looked at him like, "What?" So and remember, after that, R. Kelly still had a career. Like that interview was not the nail in the coffin. So he did a collab with Lady Gaga after that. So
and that was like 2010,
something like that.
I was
No,
working
it was like 2013, 14.
Yes, I was working at a radio station then. So that was
trash.
I got in the game in 2012. But
what's your theory, Ryan, about Jamie Foxx? Because
I gotta clear the information first, because Toray said basically he has some info or heard, I don't know where he heard it from, that Jamie Foxx was in ICU, intensive care, and his family was preparing for the worst. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what it said. He deleted that. I don't know if it was a tweet or post on Instagram, whatever. He deleted it shortly after. But this, of course, fired up speculation, because before this, we just heard like blogs and random people or random companies just tweeting stuff, or it looked like clicks. But this was the first time that I saw that somebody with any kind of credibility actually fed into what's being rumored about his condition, Jamie Foxx. And so that got the whole thing kind of spinning again. Everybody's wondering what's going on. And so I guess his daughter, who was actually the one who broke the news that a medical condition happened with Jamie Foxx, made a post on her Instagram story basically saying that Jamie Foxx, basically all these rumors are lies. He's been out the hospital for 2 weeks now and was playing pickleball today. Which, if y'all don't know what pickleball is, that's like tennis for old people.
Yeah.
So apparently he's out and about and healthy enough to be playing sports. According to Jamie Foxx's daughter, she also said they have a big announcement coming next week. So I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on anymore. So here is my theory, man. And look, y'all can knock it or break it down or tear it down. But because I'm trying to piece in my head how any of this makes any sense. How, if he's in serious condition, any kind of update, but the radio silence, and then him going from in a hospital to healthy and been out the hospital for 2 weeks. So here's my thing, because this all started. He was on the set of a made for Netflix show or movie with what's her name? The girl from The Mask and what's her fucking name?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, yeah. Okay. So he's on set, and apparently he's having like a meltdown. And the cops are called, and apparently it's really bad. And it's so bad that Cameron Diaz is now reportedly talking about retiring from acting again, because she retired and then came out of retirement
I didn't realize she retired.
Yeah, she retired like I want to
She
say
retired a long time ago.
like 2014 or something like that. It was a while ago. And she came back just recently, but apparently she was, according to reports, this meltdown was so bad that she wanted to retire again.
He had a
So
meltdown.
all this happens. There's reports of this erratic behavior. Then we get the information that a medical condition happened, but if something happened, and that's all we heard really for about a month. Speculation starts happening, and now we're to the point where he's been out the hospital this whole time and he's playing sports and shit. So, look, man, my mind goes to this option because I have to think about what can be so embarrassing that it would have to be covered up. And my idea is this. I think it's possible that he has an addiction issue and he went to rehab. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. When you think of the fact that he was spazzing out on set, then something happened.
Where did you read that he was spazzing out on set though?
That was it's everywhere. Look up Cameron Diaz. It's been reported. Like, it actually is not just a blog rumor. It actually was reported by like real publications.
I didn't even know that. I just knew about the.
Yeah, it got real serious. Like the cops were called apparently and everything.
Damn.
So it was like a real incident. And like, I don't know what it was about. It could be people were fucking up. I don't know. But I'm just trying to make this make sense to me, why this would be kept on the low so much. And that's where I'm going, man. Because I'm like, if he's healthy enough to be playing sports and stuff, why not just a quick video? Hey, thanks for the love and support. I'm doing well. I'll see you guys soon. But when you're in rehab, especially these fancy celebrity rehab facilities, they don't allow cameras and shit. So that can be an explanation as to why we haven't seen them. This is where my mind is going, man. I could be wrong 100%, but I'm trying to make sense as to why, if he's healthy enough to be playing pickleball, he couldn't take a quick Flickr video, say, thanks for the thoughts and prayers. I'm doing better. See you guys soon. We just saw that post on Instagram that could have been anybody after it was announced that Nick Cannon was taking over his show, Shazam, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
And then now we go to his daughter announcing that the rumors are capped. So that's where my mind is, man. Y'all can shoot it down and say it's based on speculation, which it basically is. But I'm just trying to think of any situation where you couldn't just say what happened. And I know we respect people's privacy. I know, look, they're the ones who announced it. That's my thing. They're the ones who announced something happened and then gave no updates. So that's just where my mind went. Maybe it's just something they don't want to be out there. And that's the only thing I think about that's like embarrassing enough to where you just are not going to say what happened.
Yeah. And I think Jamie got a lot to lose if we all found out he had an addiction problem with the rehab.
Yes.
Like you said, the show Shazam, that's a big show. I think it might be on, was it on Fox? It's on Fox or ABC or something like
it's
that.
on Fox. Yeah.
So he got a lot at stake. So I think the last thing that need to get out is he went to rehab because he went crazy on the set and he trying to get his life together. So look, I'm not shooting that down at all, man. Look, man, a lot of people in Hollywood or everybody probably on drugs, but I never thought about that with Jamie Foxx for some reason. It's like we never saw Jamie Foxx at his worst, and I didn't know anything about him spazzing out on set. So it's funny you said that because the only thing I heard about Jamie Foxx was him being in the hospital, and that seemed like that might have covered. Maybe that covered it up.
They said he had a medical complication.
And people speculated, people said stroke, but there's never anything confirming that too. So, like, we just don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, so this is what I'm reading. Okay, about the meltdown as you were talking. So apparently, a worker on the film tried to involve Jamie in a $40,000 scam, and this is according to a website called StyleCaster.com. It's a fashion / entertainment news site. But the worker tried to involve him in like a scam, and apparently that same employee might have been involved in some past attempted scams involving wealthy celebrities, and police were allegedly called to the set after the Fox dust up, trying to figure out what's happened. I guess he lost a lot of money too, because they fired. He said they're saying that he fired like 4 people on set.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people got cut that day, and
Yeah.
it wasn't just this guy, because I read that too, but he was having issues with the entire production,
Right.
and like fired a bunch of people on set. And like I said, I don't know what happened, you know, but I'm just trying to make sense as to why. Like I said, the daughter put this information out there. Everybody's worried. A brief update. I'm not saying we gotta live stream him for 2 hours,
Right.
but a brief update. If he's been out the hospital for 2 weeks and people are all worried that he's dying, a brief update saying he's fine
He
at
did
this
technically
time.
post.
But that could have been anybody. It was like that was a very vague post congratulating Nick Cannon and something like that. But there wasn't really an update on his condition. People didn't even know if he was conscious at this point. So that's my only thing, man.
But to me, something tells me he doesn't handle his own socials. So
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
yeah, a lot of celebrities don't handle their own socials like that. So I mean, what you say may be right, which is unfortunate because I love that man. It's one of my favorite actors ever. But you can also say stroke too. I mean, like you said, there's no evidence, but there's also no evidence of addiction issues or anything like that.
That's true.
You never seen him fall out. You never seen him be messy or look disheveled or anything like that. Every time we've seen Jamie Foxx out in public, he's been very clean cut and put together. You never seen him look bad. As far as I remember, I've never seen him look bad when he's out in public. So either if he is addicted, he's covering it up really well, or he has a great team and they put his ass together before he go outside every day, if you know what I mean. Like if he's been had a drunken night, or he been all night, they get him in the shower and they get him going, make sure he go. He has a great ass assistant in the team. But either way, I personally think it was a stroke, just because of how long he's been in the hospital. And that whole time they could have just been waiting for updates. Obviously, they can't update us every time something happens. And he may be playing pickleball because they told him he needs to start moving, or he's okay to start moving again. It could have been a stroke, a minor stroke. It could have been a minor heart attack. Or, it could have been an addiction issue and he was in rehab. But I didn't realize this happened back in March, though. I thought he was... No, because the thing just happened at the end of April.
The thing on set happened at the end of March, and then the medical complication happened at the beginning of April.
Okay.
It was then close to a month. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think of stuff like, look at what just happened to Jeremy Renner. This dude was almost killed by a snowplow.
Man, that was...
And we got an update on him pretty quickly, I feel, especially for somebody who was damn near death. Like, literally, he almost died. Yeah. And we got an update like a few days later, he was saying he's okay.
And I think that situation is different. Probably his team discussed it for him to be a little bit more open about what was happening, what was going on. And he probably felt like it was okay to share that information. Not everybody feels comfortable sharing everything that happens. Yeah. So if it was a discussion beforehand, and as we can see, his daughter, pretty much keeps a close hand on him. They're so close together. So she could be the family spokesperson and picks and choose what should be released and put out there. He could have definitely said to the team, his PR, his agent, manager, whatever, we know information is going to slip out about this. Somebody's going to tell something, but absolutely nothing should be out. No information. Yeah. She could have told him that,
I'm kind of
so close. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious now because I wonder where did the rumors come from? Because it wasn't like we found out he was in the hospital from her, like from the very beginning. It wasn't like, hey guys, I know y'all. Yeah, it seemed like it was going on before we actually heard real word of it.
I didn't see anything until
Yeah, when I first saw it, was somebody in the comments on like the shade room or something like that
Oh
saying,
Lord, you went to the shade room.
I think so. Somebody posted the comment in the shade room, and that's how. So I wasn't on the shade room, but
Mhm.
yeah, somebody said, "Hey, Jamie Foxx is in the hospital. I heard he's not doing too good." It was somebody like my mama work at the same hospital, something like that. But that was the first time I heard it. This was before. I think this was before the daughter spoke up on it. So I'm kind of curious, like where
You
did
mean when she first initially announced that he was in the hospital for a medical complication, or
yeah, because I think the internet was going nuts because I didn't even want to speak on it because I didn't see I didn't see TMZ or anybody say anything about it. It was just how the internet is.
right? Yeah,
They would announce somebody dead and you don't see anything about it.
I
So
saw Corinne's thing first before I saw any of that stuff, and then from what I understand, Radar Online was the first site to post the news about what was going on with Jamie. And then it kind of just snowballed from there where the other blogs picked it up.
yeah. So
So
I'm kind of curious. Like, I wonder if maybe somebody did maybe let's use your theory on this. Maybe somebody saw him in some type of facility. Maybe it wasn't a hospital. Maybe it was some type of facility. And, they didn't know what was going on. They just knew he was in the hospital for something.
So a lot of times, these news sites will call up the celebrities' PR people and give them a heads up about a story that's coming out. And to your theory, that might been what happened. He might have, was addicted, or he was messing with or dealing with it or whatever. And instead of that story coming out like that, it probably the PR person caught it and said, "Hey, can you say this instead?" And then that's probably when the daughter jumped in to give an actual update on what's going on with Jamie Foxx. Because I've seen it on the Kardashians where their PR people would call them and say, "Hey, this story about Kanye is about to be posted, or about your family. I just wanted to let you know so you can jump in to comment or jump ahead of it or whatever." And that's probably why she came out with the statement that she came out with, saying it was a medical complication.
I'm convinced the Kardashians are at least part owners of TMZ. I'm convinced of that much because it seems like they're all TMZ will spill the tea on everybody, but them in particular, they're very defensive, and that entire crew is just nah. There was Hitler stuff when Kanye first went to TMZ that never came out, and I'm like, this is the one of the biggest. I think it was a Jewish owned. The guy Tom, whatever his name is, like a Jewish guy. You think he would be offended enough to say, "Hey, Kanye's acting like a Nazi here," but none of that stuff came out. So I'm convinced Kardashians are part owners or very deeply entrenched with TMZ.
Yeah, they know Harvey
Levin. Yeah,
they have a really close.
They're tapped in with him for sure.
The Kardashians are the Hollywood mafia.
Basically.
Everybody wants to be close to them or have some type of connection to them because that gets them more money and more opportunities. Let's just be real.
They probably look out for them. So why, if they look out for us, I won't say, huh?
I'm about to go find me Kris Jenner to make her my manager because she be getting them some money.
Nah, shit,
she be working.
But to my theory, because I was also thinking about this too, and I could be wrong, but has anybody who was working with Jamie Foxx in the days before this medical issue said anything?
No.
Even a prayer, did Cameron Diaz say prayers up to Jamie Foxx? She's co-starring with him in a movie right now.
She probably talked to him personally.
But was she not even express support publically?
Maybe they were asked not to.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But part of me feels like there are people who know what's going on are just not saying anything.
Yeah. Or what about this? I know you mentioned the addiction thing. What about everybody's go-to line? Mental health. Maybe
that could be it too.
Did he actually have a breakdown?
That could be it too.
Just went nuts.
Look, we know how we treat mental issues as black men. Nobody wants to admit like I had a breakdown and went to therapy, you know? So I can see the embarrassment of not wanting to admit that publicly and keep that
Yeah.
on the low. So that's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just the embarrassment of just spazzing out on set. Because I never remember Jamie Foxx spazzing out on set like this. So maybe it could have been something like that where he feel a little embarrassed and need a couple weeks or a month to kind of get yourself together because he be working his ass off.
And
So
he's
maybe,
almost 60 years old, man. Like he's up
yeah,
there in age.
yeah, he's working
So
a lot. He's one of those guys that hosts everything. He do a lot of shit. So maybe, he just went nuts where he just gotta, chill out for a month.
Well, I guess we'll never really know until he actually speaks on
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
And I mean, he might not even tell us what actually happened. He'll be like, it was a personal thing, and I don't know. We might never know. But
Yeah.
my mind, like now that we know from his daughter that he seems to be okay, at least enough to play sports and shit, that I'm wondering, like, what was the severity really what we thought it was? Was it something else? And has he been away because he's been trying to get himself together? I don't
He's
know.
probably been trying to heal because if it happened like a month ago and he's been out of the hospital for the past 2 weeks and now he's up like playing sports and stuff, I mean, depending on how big, the issue was, like you said, it probably he could have been in the hospital for like a week or two and then they released him. And he's probably just been quiet, just trying to take care of himself to get better so that he can be out. I'm pretty sure that at some point Jamie Foxx is going to show his face.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to do it just because we keep yelling and saying, "You need to talk to us. You need to talk to us." My ain't at Houston Rockett.
Oh no, that's actually our
that's
our
that.
background.
That's the
That's part of our
the
background.
Oh, because I was
Yeah.
like,
It wasn't your tag, no.
yeah, I was like, I'm confused. What's happening? Yeah, they could have just, as with any surgery or a medical issue that you may have where you're out of sight for weeks, you got to take time to heal for yourself. Like, we're not owed a explanation or an answer or anything from these artists that go through this. It's a privilege to know what's going on, but it's not a right to know what's going on. I think the biggest problem with this situation is all the speculation because everybody was so quick to want to hit something viral and be the first one to break that news. So then all the information became conflicting and just too much. And it's like, who's sharing this information? Because I'm pretty sure the people that are talking are not actually a part of his team. It's probably people that were in wherever he's at,
Yeah, that's how I usually go. It might be some type of part-time nurse or
and
somebody there that
they
just
want money for the tip, so they're gonna give them whatever they want.
Yeah, they probably just saying, the game of telephone. They probably just seen them and heard somebody say it's this, and then it get all around the world, and
that's why they always say insider or a close source. It's like the nurse of the assistant of that nurse. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like,
yeah.
Just the person that takes
agree.
the blood.
Yeah, we don't have to know. And look, it's none of our business. It's just fun speculation, not fun speculation, but it's just us speculating on a podcast. But I agree that we're not owed that. But this is what happens when you volunteer this information, And it's the thing. It brings you back to like Chadwick Boseman. They just announced he died, and we don't know what happened. We didn't know he was sick. We didn't know if he was hospitalized. We didn't know anything until they just announced his death because they chose to keep that very secret and close to their chest, which they have a right to.
Yeah.
And now, if in the months up to that, they said Chadwick Boseman's in the hospital and didn't provide any updates, we're going to wonder what the fuck is going on, But the fact that there was nothing happened. We just had that weird video of him when he looked really skinny, but nobody at that point really thought he was sick. People just thought he was just training people thought he was just method acting for a role or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that is what happens when you really want to keep something close to chest. My only thing is like, okay, you told us he was in the hospital for something and didn't say what, and then just didn't say anything after that. So
Yeah.
of course that's when people speculate, man.
Yeah.
So
And that's
if you
human nature too, man.
what's that?
That's I think that's a little human nature too, because if like think about your Facebook friend who's in this relationship and all of a sudden they break up.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know what happened. Like
Yeah.
you've been showing us this you've been showing us him for years, and
We're just
now
all naturally nosy.
yeah, so we just I like me.
Curiosity.
Sometimes I snoop around like, damn, what happened?
Yep.
I do the same thing. I
Yeah,
be
so-
snooping. I be like,
yeah.
what's this tweet about? Why they saying it on Twitter? Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, so sometimes like they don't owe us anything, but sometimes we want to know what happened.
No, and I totally agree with that. I mean, obviously, we all want to know and make sure that Jamie Foxx is okay because he's a beloved talent. Like he's a triple threat or more because he has other titles. But I mean, he's the ultimate triple threat, and people have done nothing but give good words about this man. And so, yeah, we all naturally want to make sure that he's okay. But how much information can you give in a situation where they just say medical complication? But they don't really want you to know because they're not even sure what's happening. That's something to think about too. Like maybe the daughter didn't know exactly what was happening, but she knew that her dad was in the hospital and she knew she just needed to be there.
Yeah,
And so she
true.
posted something so that we can figure out what's happening. Because a lot of times, like when you go to a hospital, you go to the doctor, you go to ER, and they have to go through 50 million tests before they can actually diagnose you with what was happening. And so, like I said before, at some point, he's probably going to talk to us and tell us what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if he go on like Angie Martinez or, talks to people probably don't like him, but talks to
He
Charlamagne.
might talk to I don't know. He
Tamara.
might talk to Drew Barrymore. She got a new show that's popping out, doesn't she? Drew Barrymore is gonna be the new Ellen. I'm calling it right now.
She
'Cause
been doing
white
the
people
thing.
need a new Ellen.
As long as she starts dancing. But yeah, he may go on any other talk show, sir, or even do Today or GMA and talk
Yeah.
about like what happened. So I mean, I say give it another month or two. Obviously, he's not finishing the actual movie he's working on. They did a body double for it,
Mm-hmm.
but I say give it another month or two. He's probably gonna tell us exactly what happened with him.
Yeah, we'll see. They got to prep the clone for deployment. Got to make sure all the kinks are worked out.
I see you tweet that, man.
Lord,
You know that's coming, man.
You said
That
the clone is almost finished.
clone is going through beta testing, man. They got to make sure the kinks are good. See, that's why they hid Damar Hamlin. They had to make sure everything was right before they put him in front of a camera. So, nah.
But yeah, I'm glad. Look, I'm gonna take his daughter's word. I'm glad he's good
Yeah.
and playing pickleball or whatever. So I'm glad he's good because it was kind of weighing on me a little bit. Like
Mhm.
when I seen that last update of, the family preparing for the worst, I was just like, man, we can't lose Jamie, man.
no, that's why I didn't say nothing. I didn't speak on
Yeah,
it. 'Cause I
it was
like,
bothering me. I almost muted the word Jamie because
Mhm.
I ain't want to see. Everybody kept reposting that shit too, man. I'm like, damn, like we see the damn update.
the same way they keep reposting that video of Janelle Monáe flashing.
Oh, they could keep reposting.
Yeah, I
that.
know, right?
Y'all vote.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about
Yeah.
the switch up with Janelle Monáe? Like, look,
Y'all said they can keep going. I bet both of y'all bookmarked it too, didn't you? You
look,
bookmarked it on Twitter. Tell the truth.
Nah,
I
I
ain't
took
got to. Everybody
I took a nice little
reposting
gander.
Yeah, I know you bookmarked it since Ryan want to act all.
Look, I'm somebody who listened to Janelle Monáe like very early on. And look, I'm not gonna act like I don't like the fact that she all about ass and whatnot now and naked and shit. But do y'all feel like everything has to be this in music now? Because how many artists do we have who are just like not doing this at this point?
I think
You
you have
know?
to think about
One-
how.
The one I could think about is Alicia Keys, man.
But Alicia Keys is kind of aged out the game, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put her with
I'm
this
just
new
saying,
girl.
like, even from the beginning, like, when have you seen a sexual Alicia Keys? She never been like that before. I know she married now, but she never been that way.
I
And
think
I
you have to
was-
think about though the evolution of Janelle Monáe. You know how she started out, with the clothes, like she wore the black and white, And
HRW. See, you're getting J
Yeah.
Belle. You said you wouldn't get distracted by the comments.
I
You
didn't. Did I
said
say
you wouldn't.
anything? I didn't say anything. I know my thought. Be quiet. Let me know.
And this
Okay,
is this is
let me
about
go.
the artist Janelle.
Let me talk. Okay, so and he spelled my name wrong. And okay, so when you think
wasn't
about,
talking
I
about
see
you, but
That's
okay.
not
You-
okay.
That's talking
I'm
about
sorry.
Janelle
I'm sorry.
Monáe.
I'm
See?
sorry, Janelle Monáe. My
Let me
name is spelled with an E.
comment.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so you got to think about how Janelle Monáe, her evolution to wearing the black and white outfits that she used to wear to where she is now. Now, her reason for wearing those outfits, I don't know if you guys saw that clip of her at the 2012 Black Girls Rock ceremony, that she wears that as a uniform because of her parents, her mother, her father, and her stepfather. They all used to work at jobs that they wore uniforms, and that's the reason why she wore it, as a representation of them. And now when you look at how she kind of has let her guard down more and more over the years, it's been coming around for a long time. Do you guys remember the song she did with the pink pants and it was like the vagina? I don't remember the song.
I remember. I remember that.
I think it was called Pink or something like that.
Yeah, I remember. It was like I remember that song.
So she basically, she's opening herself up. And also, too, Janelle Monáe is at a point in her career where she doesn't have nothing else to prove. Okay? So she's liberating herself from having to prove anything else to anyone in the industry or anyone out there that thinks that she is not worthy of where she is right now. And that's what I get from it. It's a liberation of herself, of who she was in the beginning, what people were used to where she is now. That's how I see it.
I understand that thought, and that could be true, but to me, it looks like she's chasing what's hot right now. Because every female artist is doing this. When she came out, like I said, I listened to her early on, when she had the Android series of albums and mixtapes and shit. And it was like a very conceptual, it was different from shit that was out at that time. Okay. It was not just like cookie cutter pop music. It was like this whole lore about androids and this futuristic type motif, and the way it was like a retro futuristic type feel to it with her suits and tuxedos and shit. And the way the video, the choreography, everything was very, very, it was something different. Yeah. And now, like, looking at this, like I said, I like it as a man, but it's like this, everything have to be this.
Well, first of all, women have always have gone the sexy route at some point in their career.
When they start flopping. Like, to be fair,
flourishing.
like, I get her older stuff did not sell that much. Okay. People who were fans liked it, but it was not like she was like one of the top stars of her era.
Right. Okay. But my reason for saying that is that's not true. Not necessarily true. Some people liberate out of what they are told to do in the beginning of the career, and once they get to a point where they don't have to listen to anyone, they do what they want, if that makes sense. So if you look at artists like Mariah Carey, and yes, I do realize Janelle Monáe and Mariah Carey are on different spectrums of the singing, but when you look at Mariah Carey's music in the beginning, even her image in the beginning, because she was married, and her husband, we know who the husband was, Tommy Mottola. She was very covered up, and even if she showed a little bit, it was only like an arm or a leg. Once she was able to take over her own career and really like move forward, she shed that old image and did something new, so that people already loved her to death, but she needed something new to liberate herself from the image or the old personality of who she was before and what people were used to. And I think that's what's happening with Janelle Monáe, that she's shedding that old image of what people were used to before to give them where she's at in her life right now. The biggest example I can use, but this person always been consistent, is Beyonce. I'm going to tell you why. When She was at the beginning of her solo career, not with Destiny's Child, her own solo career. Even it was the same with her. You know, you can tell she was uncomfortable with herself and who she was as a solo artist. And that's why she built the persona of the ego, the alter ego, Sasha Fierce. Now, once she got to a certain point in a certain place in her career, she shed and got rid of Sasha Fierce, and now she's just Beyonce. And that's just the end. People weren't used to that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or they were like, where's Sasha Fierce? We want Sasha Fierce. She's gone. It's just me. Like, people literally do that once they get to a certain point of their career. I don't believe it's when they flop. I believe it's when they're really flourishing and they realize where they want to go in their life and then where their music wants to go. You kind of have to grow with the music. So if she would have stayed in that and still did the same music over and over and over again, yeah, no, it wasn't going to go nowhere. So she had to do something different because people are still watching her. They still love her music. They still love her. But she needed something different because she was growing. So while she's growing and she's, you know, becoming something else in her own life, her music does too. And so does her image. It's all changing. I don't think it's just the sexy route for record label album sales or whatever. I think it's a personal evolution of herself. And that's what the music's going to reflect on. Just like it does with any of these artists out here. If they really are growing, you know, they're going to change. And it's going to show in their music and their image.
So is she still trying to look? I ain't trying to disrespect her at all, but is she still trying to, you know, be this person in music? Because I thought she kind of moved past the music and got more into the acting and all that.
I think she took a break from music.
Yeah, she did for a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I was wondering because she been playing in a lot of stuff.
Well, she has her own record label too. Because what's his name? Jadina.
Oh yeah, the one that look like the game.
Oh, 1920s.
I'm a class. Was it the classic man?
Well, the classic man. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song though.
Man.
But I think he's still on her record label, so she's still doing music. If she still has a record label, I don't even know.
I mean, yeah, she can have a record label, but is she still like one of the actives out here? Is she still trying to, you know? Is she still trying to get that hit? If that makes sense.
Now she is, I think, with this new release and new music coming.
That's why
before she really wasn't.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because I'm like, I feel like she will only do something like this if she was like really active out here, and the music wasn't really doing anything. So now she got to go to Plan B, which is to do this. But I'm like, if she just kind of focus on the movies and you know, life after music. I'm like, what's the point of kind of doing this? Well, so that was kind of my question.
No entertainer, no celebrity these days stay in one lane anymore. I mean, we all know that from J-Lo, from Jennifer Lopez. But I get what you're saying. I think she just took a break and she decided she wanted to do other projects as artists, singers do. And when you think about the reviews that she got from being in Glass Onion, that was called Glass Onion. Really great reviews. I mean, she's doing what she wanted to do, and now she feels some inspiration to go do music like Lady Gaga does. You know, Lady Gaga took that big break after Joanne, and she released Chromica. I think that's the name of it. I can't pronounce shit right. I'll tell you that right now. But in between Joanne and her last album, she did A Star Is Born. And now she's working on another movie. And she's done House of Gucci. So it's kind of the same realm. You know, they take a break. They find some stuff that makes them inspired. And they get back to work. I mean, you think about Beyonce. Beyonce hadn't released an actual project. Like her own actual project. Like, so The Gift is not her album. She curated that project, and she was a part of it. She produced it, but it's not really her album, if that makes sense.
How many songs did you have on it?
She had 13. No, you mean like her physically on it?
Yeah, like songs where she was performing on that album. Let me look it up because look, let's not say because it didn't do well that it wasn't a Beyonce album.
No, I'm not saying that at all. It's a good album. The Gift is a good album. But she even said herself it wasn't her album because she curated a lot of the artists that were on it. And she would be featured. I think she really only has, I'll look it up right now.
I'm looking right now. I'm counting 1, 2,
okay,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, the interlude don't count. I'm not going to count the interlude. 8, 9.
And this is out of 13?
Out of like a lot of songs here.
Okay.
10. It's like 27 songs. Okay. Nah. She's on this more than Kendrick was on the Black Panther album, I feel. Okay. I don't know if you can say this is part of her break. Like this is a lot of work she put out for this album.
Well,
so I mean, so should you put that in the Beyonce catalog? Is it fair to do that, or
it is in the Beyonce catalog?
I wouldn't call it a Beyonce. Like I wouldn't call Black Panther the album the Kendrick album, but it counts as his body of work. If that makes any sense.
That's what I'm saying with this, with The Gift, The Lion King, The Gift. It's a body of work, but it's not necessarily her album.
Yeah.
Like she curated with the other artists on it, and it was another part to Black is King. That was the purpose of that whole thing. Is like correlation with the live action version of The Lion King. But my point is like her last actual album that she released was Lemonade back in 2016, right? So it's been a long time since she actually has released her own project. In between that, she's done a lot of stuff. She did Beachella. She did her tour. She voiced some other stuff. She's like done stuff with Tiffany's. Like they do stuff in between for a reason to give themselves a break so they become inspired again like the rest of us try to. That was my whole point of it.
But do you think Beyonce's music has evolved with this last album?
Oh, yeah. Me personally, yes. Because when I listen back to her first album, her first solo album, but even if you think about Destiny's Child, period, her singing is way better. The subjects of her songs are way better.
Really? I would take exception with that. Because look, I don't think it was a bad album, but when I listened to this new Beyonce album, when I did listen to it, it felt to me like a 40-year-old trying to sound cool like the 20-year-olds. It didn't sound like a mature album.
Because the album is not really catered to everyone. The album is electronic dance house music, and it's really more geared towards the LGBTQ plus community. So even when you if you've seen the footage of the Renaissance World Tour, it's a lot of voguing, ballroom, a lot of house music. When you listen to the album, it's a lot of house music in there. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe. And it's not going to be for everybody, honestly, truthfully. But to me, because of it's such a different turn from what Lemonade was, yeah, I do believe that she has evolved. I think I wouldn't put it high up on my list, like maybe number 2 for Renaissance or number 3. But I do think she has evolved. Because, I mean, what is she going to do after this? She has 2 more acts after this. And they're talking about country. She's going to do country. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
I do. That's what I feel. I feel like she has evolved. Because, I mean, you listen to Cuff It. Listen to Cuff It.
Cuff It is a terrible song, man. Come on now.
Lord. Let's move on, because I know you're not talking about Nile Rodgers.
You gonna say that to the Beehive?
Come on. I would hope even by now the Beehive is honest about this last Beyonce album, man. I'm not gonna go as far as to say it's trash, but it has to be like one of the weakest albums she's released. Like, let's be real, man. Like, I don't see how you can listen to this album and say she is moving forward in her vocal content.
I want to ask J Belle this. What do you, if you had to pick the weakest Beyonce album, and I'm not saying it got to be a trash album, but just the weak link. We always do this with Jay-Z.
I Am Sasha Fierce, the weakest one. I think that's the worst album that she had. I didn't like it. She was trying too hard to cater to two audiences at the same time when she didn't need to do that. So I think that's a
because I forgot what's on this album.
Was that the album with Halo on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I were a boy, okay.
But I could see around that time too.
This was a single ladies album. Wow, this was the weakest one.
Hell
I
yeah,
feel like
hate
this
that
kind
damn
of
song.
made her. Wow.
I hate that fucking song. Oh my God, I hate that fucking song.
What,
I hate Single Ladies.
Single Ladies?
I hate that fucking song. That song, 2008, I wanted to shoot myself.
Wow.
That song was played every.
Well, to be fair, you hate things that were played a lot on radio because you work in radio. So.
No, I wasn't even in radio then.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Well, Single Ladies is a very popular song at weddings, so I can see people being tired of that song.
I never really liked the song, but I always thought it was very popular within the Beehive. And I thought that album was very popular within the Beehive. I'm surprised to hear that people didn't like that album.
I don't like it. I do not like it. I don't think it was one of her best. The one I would say is her best is 4. 4 is her best album. Her first, her fourth. Yeah, 4 is her best album. And then I would say Lemonade is behind that. And then Renaissance. No, B-Day and then Renaissance.
I was about to say, what about B-Day?
She has
B-Day
7.
gets no love.
She has 7 albums. 7.
Yeah, B-Day has some slaps on here, though. I'm looking at it.
Dude, that's why I said B-Day then Renaissance.
Okay. You ain't say B-Day.
We ain't gonna do this today. Y'all not gonna bully me about my list.
So wait, you think Renaissance is the number 2 Beyonce album?
No, I said Lemonade.
Wait, hold on. Let's get you to rank the Beyonce. I don't want to put you on the spot. But let's get the J Belle, and we won't disagree or debate anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just make a face whenever I'm through.
That's enough.
What's the J Belle official Beyonce album rankings?
Why do I gotta be the one to give my ranking?
You the Beehive.
Yes,
I am not the Beehive. Now I'm a fan of Beyonce, but I ain't part of no Beehive.
You are Beehive, okay? You are
No,
Beehive
I'm not.
adjacent.
I'm not
You
no
more
Beehive.
of a fan than us. Like I can't
Beehive
rank
is people that fly across the country to go see her tour and see it both nights in Sweden. That's the Beehive.
No, Beehive are people who just defend Beyonce and think everything she does is great no matter what.
No, I don't think everything that she does is great. I just said Sasha Fierce was horrible. I don't like the fact that she went into acting at one point. I don't think she's a great actress. Yeah, I don't. She did when she did The Lion King and she was Nala. They had to give her lines. She didn't need no lines because she didn't need to be in The Lion King.
The movie didn't even need to be made, but that's a whole nother
That was
debate.
That was horrible. It was not that good. I was so mad. I was like, oh, so excited for Beyonce to be. I was like, oh, what's she gonna sound like? Then I heard her. And I was like, I love Beyonce, but her voice is not meant for animation.
Yeah.
It's not.
I got to be honest too, because we had this argument. Me and Ryan had this argument about lying. I thought it was a good idea that they was remaking it to look more realistic, but it wasn't until I saw them singing, like the actual animation singing. Well, I just can't wait, and it just looked so weird.
It looked weird. It wasn't
Just imagine a real lion, just jump up and start singing and showing his teeth. Like that, it just didn't look real at all. It just looked bad. And I ain't even watched the movie. I just watched a couple clips and I'm just like, nah, this ain't it. I gotta walk that one back.
I went to go see it in theaters and I was in the beginning, it was great. Like the beginning of the movie, it was awesome. And then as it got further in, I was just like, they changed the arrangement of the songs. That pissed me off. I was like, Hakuna Matata is a fucking classic. And you changed it to this shit? I was mad. I was mad. Okay, let me rank my Beyonce albums. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 1, Lemonade.
Okay.
Number 2, I forgot. Number 2. What was
You
my
want me to
number 2?
read them for you?
Okay,
Yeah,
number 2 is 4. Number 2
Okay.
is 4. No, just actually switch that around. I'm sorry. 4 is number 1. Number 2 is Lemonade. Number 3 is B-Day. Number 4 is Renaissance. And then what she got left after that?
Dangerously in Love, her first one.
Okay, so yeah, so Dangerously in Love and
Self-titled.
Self-Titled. I didn't really like Self-Titled.
Wow.
Really?
I like a lot of it, but not a whole lot. Like when you listen to Self-Titled and then listen to Renaissance, she was experimenting with the dance music and the EDM. And then she kind of made it a lot better with Renaissance because she went full throttle. So yeah, so what did I say number 5 was? I forgot. Number 5.
I think you said Dangerously in Love.
Okay, and then number 6 will be Self-Titled, and then the last one would be I Am.
Oh wow.
I do not
Controversial
like that.
list with the Beehive, I'm sure.
They can kiss my ass. What they gonna do? Come, as long as you don't dox me, we good. Okay.
Nah, they gonna come after you for that one. You said she can't act either. Damn.
I'm sorry,
was
she can't.
trash.
No, because I mean, what was the very first movie she did? It was Austin Powers.
Yes.
And even then, I was not a fan. She did Pink Panther.
I forgot about that. That's hilarious.
The only
They
thing,
really tried to make Beyonce an actress at one, but I
yeah.
forgot about that. They really did
too.
try with her. They
The
thought she was
only
gonna be
movie-
J-Lo part 2.
the only movie I would say I really liked her in because of the singing, obviously, is Cadillac Records.
Oh yeah.
Because she did her thing as Etta James, even though Etta James couldn't stand her ass. But
Was she in Dreamgirls too?
oh, and Dreamgirls. Okay, those are the only 2 movies. Dreamgirls.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Jennifer Hudson kind of cleaned her up a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it. Jennifer Hudson was the main star. Beyonce was a name that they put up there, but the story itself was about Effie.
Yeah, but you still had Beyonce, kind of prime Beyonce in that movie.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
I
don't think
definitely
nobody-
agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm just
so-
saying, like even though everybody's eyes was on Beyonce because it was a big role, a lot of promotion. I mean, the big rollout for it. The main star was Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
You know, but Beyonce, because she was so big at that time, and still is. I mean, let me just make sure say that because she was so big at that time, they forefronted her. You know, for people to pay more attention to her than Jennifer Hudson.
Fair enough. Yeah. So we'll see what the Beehive thinks about that. I think these are very
Beehive ain't
controversial
thinking about-
takes here with
thinking
your
about
album
nothing I say.
ranking. So last but not least, we'll cover this because I did see this and I thought it was just kind of funny. So I guess the paparazzi, the tabloids or what have you, will have apparently obtained the birth certificate of Rihanna's latest baby. And have y'all seen the name of this little brother? His name is RZA, like RZA, the rapper,
RZA.
that's producer, RZA.
Yeah,
Athelston Mayers.
I mean, that's a good ass name, but I don't like the fact that they shared his birth certificate. Daily Mail was wrong for that. They were definitely wrong for that, and that's when invasion of privacy comes into play. Like, the name, okay, cool, share that. But the baby's birth certificate? The baby? I hope the
that's kinda
security,
wild.
I hope the social security number wasn't on there. Like, that's too much.
I wonder what people be thinking when they do stuff like that because I would
They
feel
want
dirty.
money. The same way somebody released the photos of Rihanna after Chris Brown put his hands on her.
I
Nobody
thought
had
that
those
was
photos.
like a mugshot taken from the police department. I didn't know anybody took that and sold it.
They did.
No, okay.
They didn't release it, not the police station. Somebody took it and put it out there.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. My thing is when these blog sites and all that stuff, outlets post the stuff. And they're clear, and it's not even for it clearly doing it for clicks.
Yeah,
That's
clickbait.
that's the problem I have. I would feel dirty, man. Like if we had that birth certificate right now and it was not out, I would probably do something clever like, I bet you Beyonce and ASAP Rocky would probably name this baby something like RZA.
Beyonce.
Or not? Did I say Rihanna?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, my bad. I'm
Not
still
you breaking
thinking
up
about
happy homes.
I know. But I would say something like, I wonder if Rihanna and ASAP Rocky would name their baby something like RZA. I would just put that tweet out there so I can know I know I'm gonna be right eventually, and my tweet gonna look amazing.
I agree with that. I would do that too. I would share
I
that.
wouldn't post the birth certificate.
No, they definitely shouldn't have did
My
that.
takeaway wasn't necessarily the birth certificate. It was more so the fact that she
Name.
named her son RZA, or they named their son RZA.
Well, ASAP Rocky's real name was Rakim. After
I didn't know that.
Oh,
but
you
to
didn't
be
know?
fair, I didn't know that until just when this baby was released. Apparently,
The
their
baby
dad
was
is a
released.
huge hip hop head
Yeah,
because
Rakim.
the daughter is named Erica B and the son is named Rakim.
Yeah,
So
I did
very
remember
cute.
that.
But
Yeah.
to be fair, like Rakim is like one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
RZA, I mean, RZA.
He's
He's
not
a
even the
huge
greatest
fan.
producer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Maybe he's just a huge fan and they have a certain friendship because they all are from the same area. Because ASAP is from
Harlem.
what? Oh, Harlem. Okay, but no, RZA. They're from Long
RZA
Island,
from,
right?
He from
Staten
Staten
Island,
Island.
ain't he?
Staten Island.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
they
what I
call it
thought. Okay.
Shaolin.
Yeah.
Well, they're both from New York, so like he's probably just a
Isn't it
huge fan.
Very cringeworthy to name your son the rap name of somebody who's still alive. Like, am I just not? am I the only one who's weirded out by this shit? It reminds me of when Drake gets like a tattoo of Sade, but worse. You naming a baby after a nigga that's alive, and this is very cringeworthy to me, man. Like,
People do it every day. They name their kids after somebody that's really close to
yeah,
them.
but I mean, that's somebody who's not going to be in the limelight like Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's son.
Let me.
I guess it's better than like King or Prince or whatever the fuck celebrities be naming their fucking kids.
Let me ask you this: which one is worse, them naming their kid RZA, like RZA, or Future actually naming his kid Future? And even though Future not even his real damn name.
Sierra pissed me off with that one.
I think Future is corny, but at least Future is like the dad's name.
That's not his real name though.
But this is his rap name. I wouldn't have said anything if they named the kid Rocky, even though Rocky is not his real name. That's just his nickname. But RZA, I didn't even know. Like, what? I'm surprised Rihanna went along with this. That's what really gets me. Like, I could understand if it was ASAP Rocky and like an Instagram girl, and they named their son RZA. How did Rihanna go along with this?
Kanye named all of his kids with Kim. Chicago,
yeah, North and West,
North, Psalms,
but that's not
Saint,
people.
But still,
People in the
weird
same
names.
industry as him. Yeah, they're weird. Celebrities all have weird names for the kids. I don't care that it's weird. It's that it's a rapper's name who's still alive.
Let me ask y'all this: do you think it could be have nothing to do with the actual rapper or producer RZA?
No, there's no way.
No. He named him after RZA. Yeah, he named him after that.
Like,
I think it's a respect factor. That's what I think it is. It's a respect factor. He respects him as an artist, as a rapper, and he probably looks up to him, and he felt like, let me name my child this. Since my name is Rakim, I'm going to name him after a rapper I love. Just keeping the tradition going. I think that's
But again, how did Rihanna agree to this is my question.
Because she love her some ASAP.
Was there a deal where she names one and he names the other? That's the only way I can think of this. Because they already have a kid. Maybe she named, I don't even know what their first kid is named. Maybe she named the first one and they had a deal, like a contract. I named the second one and you can't say no. The baby's named RZA.
His name is RZA. The boy, the son now is named RZA.
Oh, I thought that was the kid.
I thought that was the newest kid.
No,
Wait,
no.
she hadn't even had her kid yet.
No, she hasn't
so
had
never
her
mind.
second
So
child
okay,
yet.
so the first. Okay, never mind. The kid is
Yeah,
already
the-
born.
I was like, where were you going with this?
Okay,
Hold
never
on.
mind. I'm
No,
tripping.
the
I thought the
second-
new baby was named. Okay.
No. The son is named Riza. They're speculating that her current pregnancy, she's having a girl.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
they're speculating. So
Okay.
I was gonna say the next kid ain't gonna be Jizza.
Ooh, wait a minute.
no,
No.
if Rihanna's gonna name it, it's probably gonna be like fucking
Jizza.
Nina Sky. I don't know.
Nina Simone.
Lumidee, maybe. I don't fucking know.
She might name her after Beyonce. Who knows?
Remy Ma.
Maybe
Giselle.
Remy Ma. Yeah.
No, she'll name her child
Oh,
Giselle.
who was a good
MC Light.
Who was
Oh
the
my
female?
God. She ain't gonna name her MC Light.
Look, if
My
we
best
going
friend
after-
told me she gonna name her son Sir Marvel. Literally, Sir Marvel.
At least it ain't Jalen.
What's wrong with Jalen? What's wrong with Jalen?
Yeah, we had it.
Many of 'em.
Yes, there's too many Jalen's in the
Many
world. now.
Jalen's.
Too many. Too
There's
many.
a lot of Ryans in the world. What are you
Yeah,
talking
but
about?
Ryan Rockett is a unique name, okay? It's not like any old Ryan. Ryan Rockett, you gotta say the whole thing like a Tribe
It
Called
sounds
Quest.
like you could be a news anchor or a porn star.
Yeah.
Ryan Rockett.
Yeah. It does sound like a 1940s like comic book character.
That too.
Ryan Rockett and Doug Danger or some shit like that.
That's a good idea. You should
Danny
put that together.
Danger and Ryan Rockett.
That's a good idea. I like
Yeah.
that. I want 10%.
So I think we could go ahead and wrap this podcast up. It's been a spicy one, but it's been a good one. I really enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for coming on, J Belle. Thank you for beefing with our comment team as well.
Just tell them they don't want no smoke with me, okay?
Apparently not.
Who
But-
smoke with me?
You don't want no smoke with me, man. We're gonna squabble, nigga. You gotta play that one more time for me.
Teach your man how to squabble.
Teach a man how to squabble.
Get that trigger next time, nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
You scare these white people in my apartment complex. Please stop
It's all
playing.
good. It's all good. So go ahead and where can the people find you? Where can they keep up to date with what you're doing, what you got going on? Plug your stuff, J Belle.
I don't know, because I don't want Miguel trying to follow me.
Well,
Start
hey, a
fight with
fan
me.
is a fan, okay? Even
he
you
gonna
should
start
welcome
fighting with
all.
me.
Look, we on the
No.
podcast welcome all feedback, positive and negative, okay? Anybody listening and paying attention is a good thing, even
Well,
if they hate you.
anyone that's been watching and you want to actually follow me to be nice and interact with me, you can follow me
Okay.
because I'm gonna be real, because I'll block you.
Why? Don't block people. You're a personality. You don't block people. Okay?
It's called protecting your peace and not
Yeah.
losing your job.
See, the key is mute.
Yes.
The key is block. No, the key
No,
is
you gotta
block.
mute.
No, the
See,
key is
when,
block.
when you block people, that give them ammo.
Exactly.
No, it
My
don't.
opinion.
I
No,
made
it
them
don't.
mad. I made them mad. I have to click an extra button. Mute is they'll never even know, and it'll
Yeah,
just
you
look like you
ignore
don't care about what they say, and which you really shouldn't. But
Yeah.
the
No,
mute
block-
works
block
better.
me-
You can still.
No, block actually means what it means. So if you try to comment on my page or something that I said and you can't get to it, blocked.
But to me, I feel like you should always block like an ex that you don't like. Like if if you went through a lot of stuff with your ex, I don't want him interacting with me. I don't want him to see me. Like to me that's a block. But
Well,
if
none
it's
of my
some type,
exes follow me. Well, I do have one ex that follows me. I had him blocked and that unblocked him. None of my exes don't bother me. They try, but they know I ignore them real quick. They end up leaving me alone.
you
I
gotta
like none of 'em.
you gotta do that to the listeners. Because even though some of these listeners, and I go through it from 10 to 2 every day, some of them be saying some wild stuff, but they still listen.
Oh, I know, because didn't
so-
they attack me that day? That man was talking shit about
Oh
with the black
I
football
meant,
player.
I meant to bring that up. So backstory. So Ross Tucker, you could hear he all over the place, former NFL player. He hop on the station from time to time. He was so he's very sarcastic. Like you can't really tell if you don't know him. And I forgot what Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was at the Super Bowl parade, and he was like down in beers and all that stuff. And he was being funny, like, "Oh my God, what did he say?" He said, "Oh my God, this
Something
like
about
this,
the kids or something.
yeah. Oh my God, he's drinking all this beer. What about the kids?" And you know, he was being funny though. He was being funny, and a couple people, including J Belle, kind of went at him like, "What's wrong with him drinking beer? Ain't nothing wrong with that." But she didn't know he was joking around. He was being funny. You know how people tweet, try to be funny. And a lot of sports people
They started coming for me, honey. They started coming for me.
Yeah.
So you know what I did? I deleted the
You
tweets.
ran from the smoke.
I ain't run from it. I ain't exactly got time for it. No, I don't got time for it.
You should have looked.
Let me tell you
in our profession, our job is to go viral by any means necessary.
Bullshit.
Okay,
content over everything.
Any content.
I'm not
over
arguing
everything.
with a whole bunch of
You don't
crazy
have to
people.
argue with them.
That's
Double
basically
down.
what you're gonna end up doing.
Double
is
down.
arguing.
You should have doubled down, Jake.
Man,
Look,
fuck
they're
them
not gonna
people.
like you anyway because they're sports people.
Okay.
Double down. Okay, make them really mad. See, we got to control the spirit of the. We got.
I'm gonna say it again. Fuck them people.
But see what you got to do. Like I
Y'all
never
giving me advice when I've already made my decision. Move
We're
on.
just trying to talk you into.
No.
Never mind, whatever.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, I'm the mute king. Like you could talk all day long. I won't see it. I won't get a notification, and I will move on.
I won't see it either if I block you. I still get followers. I mean, it's not like I don't get followers. I'm just not gonna deal with the disrespect. Like, and I said once that whole thing happened, I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize. I did not know." And I deleted the tweet because them sports fans are not going to follow me because I do gossip and I do entertainment news. But I'm also not going to argue with people on Twitter because I am a public persona. And believe it or not, these managers be checking for that shit when they be looking for your social medias.
They'll
So
say,
they
hey,
see
this
me
person
arguing.
went viral and stood on their square.
No, that's not.
I
what
like
a lot
you
of
got
them are
moxie.
seeing.
You're hired.
That's not what a lot of these PDs are going to see when it comes to a black woman. But that's a conversation for another day. So we said we wrapping up today. Because it's 10 o'clock and I'm ready to go lay down and watch
Go
the
ahead
TV.
and plug your Twitter that people will get blocked from if they
If you
make
act
mad.
disrespectful, you're going to get blocked. It's
But
at
anything
J
can
Belle
be-
on air. I'm not listening to you, Ryan. You've been talking shit all
Look,
night.
You find J Belle on Twitter and tell her she is a very passionate person who is great at her job and you appreciate what she does. And don't say anything more than that because she'll block you.
No, that's not what I'm
I'm
saying.
just playing. I'm kidding. See, there's sarcasm and jokes. Okay, calm down. We're just playing.
I know what sarcasm is. I just didn't realize you was doing it.
I'm playing. She has a great content feed. She's great at what she does. So make sure you follow her for all the news and everything she does. So we enjoy having you on the podcast, J Belle. We're glad you made time for us on this lovely Friday evening. And thank you for providing your outlook and views and thoughts and sharing it with us and having a great discussion with our listeners as well.
Well, hopefully they like me, even though I cussed some of them out.
Yeah, you did, but it's all good. It's all great.
I'm gonna apologize, okay? I'm so sorry if I said anything rude or mean to anyone on here, but I don't take disrespect. But
it's all good.
I do apologize. You guys did not deserve that. I never act like that in real life unless I'm disrespected. Which in this case, that's how I feel.
It's all love on the Jim
I'm just saying,
podcast.
I just want to make sure that people realize that's not my real personality. I don't go around just cussing out people just because. That's all.
Yeah. You hear that, Miguel? She apologized, so you win, okay? I'm just kidding.
I didn't apologize to Miguel.
I'm kidding.
I apologize in general.
So,
kiss my ass.
Thank y'all for listening. Go follow
that.
the lovely J Belle. I know what you're saying. You're talking shit again. Anyway, appreciate you on the podcast. Appreciate all y'all listening. All y'all who came through on the YouTube. We'll be back. A special guest again next week, potentially, maybe, hopefully.
For y'all sports fans.
For y'all. This wasn't the podcast for y'all sports fans, but next week we promise we will deliver, as much as we can. For our next guest, it will be sports centric and it will be more sports talk and things that y'all love as well. So Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And until next time.
Peace.
Ooh, the outro is nice.
I know.